Here to keep the chase going, share information, spread unity, preserve our heritage and our culture. We're trying to achieve something that you just can't catch. We're always trying to find a better way, trying to make better dogs. That's what Dixie Doggers Podcast is. That's who we are. All right, everybody, here we are one more time, coming at you again, live downtown Jasper, Alabama.
Yes, indeed.
We're down here on 20th Street, right over here by the railroad tracks. And all them Dollar General pushing carts, baby. We rolling up down the road.
Littered.
Dixie Doggers coming at you one more time. We've been doing this pretty regular with Carter and Ryne.
Some Shoat time.
Yep. Doing just kind of like what we've been up to, what they've been up to, kind of catch up on events that's past, events that's coming up, and just talking a little shit, doing a little storytelling, whatever. And then we're just gonna continue with it. So we've had a good response, and we're just gonna keep it up. So we got Ryne on with us. Carter will be on with us here in just a few minutes whenever he gets through dragging his ass across the country.
Oh yes,
yeah.
The Grand Tour of the Southeast.
He's good. He's good at dragging his ass.
Yeah, I know. Believe you me, I was with him this weekend. Now, I tell you what, we all got together this past weekend. It's y'all. Who was it? It was Josh. Tell us who all came in. What all y'all did. Tell us the event of this past week, and then we'll get into what we're doing.
We've been going out to Texas for the past, I guess, 2 trips before Pearls, and we met up with Jonathan Torres, Trey Moya, Josh Blasby, and all them folks, good folks out there. And we always said, man, y'all need to make a trip over east. So Torres couldn't make it, but Trey Moya and Josh was able to come, and they drove 17 hours to Lucas Scott's house over there in Paxville, South Carolina area. And we went hog hunting over there, and they got to meet up with Carter, and Kevin Brooks came over, Drew Brooks came over, Desmond Hood came over. We had a grand old time, man. We caught some hogs.
Yeah, you look like y'all had some.
Caught some hogs. And
are you sure it was more than one hog? Because I seen where a very good friend of mine. It's all of our uncle. He said y'all posted the same damn pig all damn week.
He can say what he wants. I think he was just mad. We had about 15 people there.
You think he's popping them chops?
Yeah, I think he was just jealous he didn't get invited. That's all.
That's all it was. I told him, I said, "Come on, let's go." So I think that's what we're gonna do, because all y'all young bucks get together all the time, and y'all don't never invite us old people.
Well, we invited them. We invited many times, and hey, people that are about it will about it. They'll show up.
That's it.
The Texas boys showed up, and I was glad to see them.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I really wish that we could have made the trip out there to the full thing. But in a way, I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I could hang that long. My God, just the couple of days that we were there, because we wound up going. We met y'all down at Cody Godwin's. And Cody Godwin and Connor, they
the Fargo,
man, fuck Fargo and them gallberries. I got amongst them. I didn't think we were ever going to, because those dogs suck so bad. Like our dogs were literally, it was almost like they were lost a little bit, because
it's different, man. It's different. It's different. It's dry.
It's really dry. And see, and like driving right up there, because like, Cody and Connor, I'm assuming both of them, they had everything set up, ready to roll. So when we get there, all we had to do was start catching pigs. The pigs were there. They were there. I mean, there was 2 cameras. They had bait and everything out. Normally, they don't even do all that, but to make it a fun trip. So we get there, we kick them out, and there's hogs up in the road. They go to baying. And as soon as they bust up a little bit, well, if they go 200 yards, man, they're on a different set of damn pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now the very first cast we kicked them out, they didn't go nowhere.
Midnight got up out of her.
Yeah. Well, she went a little bit. Yeah. We could. Well, what we consider a little bit, you know. But now the second time when we was up there in the road, she went out. I think they went a little over a mile, and just stayed. I think we were there 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, that's when we hauled ass up there, and Carter dropped his phone. He finally get to the spot, and damn, Carter's like, "Fuck, I dropped my phone," so he had to walk back and find it. And then like 30 minutes later, we saw the game warden pulled up on us.
Yeah, I thought it was the warden.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a sheriff because Carter has that new iPhone. Can't hide money. That's an iPhone. Yeah. You got the little safety feature where you drop your phone or it feels like it's in a car wreck. It immediately calls 911. So.
It's precise because that cat drove up on us in the middle of BFE, bro.
Oh, yeah, like BFE.
I'm talking about right.
And it pinned his ass right there.
Yeah, and when I'm telling, and I don't know shit about nothing in that area for sure, but I do know one thing. I know how to spell Okefenokee, and I know what it means. You know what I'm saying? And how that dude found us, I got a damn Garmin, and I done been there twice, and I couldn't even got back there. And that son bitch just drove right up.
But ain't that scary what the damn topos and the higher ups got technology like that? They can fucking get on top of you quicker than shit.
That's because they had that thermal drone following us all night, boys.
Y'all, I can imagine.
Look at Carter making an appearance.
I can imagine so. They had that thermal drone. They were probably looking for damn fucking ditch poachers.
Well, they could at least help us out and point us to the hall.
Well, no. Hey, listen, Ryan, be honest. They wouldn't nothing gonna help us out with them shitty ass dogs that night, bro. The dogs was there. We heard them grunting and squealing. Them fucking dogs just didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, Carter, crazy shit. I started getting text messages this morning of videos. And the dude I told you I met at the gas station.
Yeah.
He caught 3 pimps right there on the dirt road that separates him and Cody's club.
No kidding.
Dude, I'm talking about fucking studs, 300s and up probably. I'm talking about big hogs.
Yeah, gum.
Yeah, he said. Now they didn't catch nothing Friday and Saturday. He said so they laid out and didn't go yesterday, and they wound up going last night.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, and I got to laughing. I was like, we probably run them right over there on him.
Yeah, we pushed them out over there.
Yeah,
100%.
There ain't no doubt. But
I didn't run a dog all week. I had a blast.
Oh, you was running them. They just wouldn't yours.
Yeah, no.
They wouldn't worth the
shit.
Yeah,
they wouldn't mine. But, you know, because, I don't like my dogs to hunt in hard country, so I try to leave them out.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, them gallberries.
Them counterfeit fair weather hogs.
Yeah. Everybody thinks I catch hogs. Just, we got them pin hogs and them easy gravy hogs.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to take any chances on making my dogs look bad. So I didn't bring them to Lucas's where they've caught hogs before, or Cody's where they've caught hogs before.
Well, I'm glad that y'all did catch. Y'all caught a sow. What was it? Friday.
Yeah, and I heard you talking about how I was dragging ass. But I'll tell you what, who was the first one to that hog?
No, I didn't say that. That was Ryne.
Yeah.
I was messing.
He was talking about dragging ass. I said, yeah. Carter's dragging ass. Not start dragging ass across the country is what I said, fucker. Hey, now, listen, the only reason you were the first one there because I didn't know where the fuck I was going and I was too fat. Okay, so don't hold it against me.
I was puddle dunking up under them broadheads.
Listen, I finally gave up. I gave up and just started crawling. I was like, I hope this dog don't fucking bite me or something stupid. Because like we were trying to not army crawl, but trying to, bend over and crawl through that shit.
Well, we were bear crawling.
Yeah, it turned into the bear crawl. I was like, because I didn't want to bear crawl. I was like, I don't want to crawl. But then I was like, I have to crawl because you're not getting through this shit. And then them 32 cottonmouths that I was karate chopping and them damn spiders and fucking grizzly bears and everything else down in the swamp.
How about that spider when we found when we were just out there riding around?
What did Nathan say? What did Nathan say?
Get out of the buggy.
Get out. Get out.
I said, get the fuck out of the buggy.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with him.
Rodney was sitting there.
Coming out of that.
Rodney's ass was just looking. He was like, oh, look how big.
I was like, move.
Get the fuck out.
Turn around, and that thing was pointed at my neck.
Yeah, that dude had,
I wasn't going to let him get pointed at mine.
if it was it his fangs or his front legs.
He
or
put his front
switchblade?
legs up. I don't know. It's too big of a spider for
I
me
was
to
out
cut.
of the buggy. I was
You
gone.
can't handle a spider without it possibly. I don't know. I've been bit by so many spiders. I don't fuck with them at all.
Now keep in mind, these same two goober heads jumped out of the buggy, get in a damn ditch, and trying to hand grab
That's the biggest soft shell I ever
big ass
seen.
turtle. We thought it was a damn snapper turtle.
It was a state record soft shell turtle.
That's
at
a
least-
fact.
I'd say it's at least 30 to 40 pounds
Hey,
all
probably
day
bigger.
long. all
Probably
day
bigger
He
than
long.
was a monster.
I'm gonna say he was bigger than that.
He's fucking 3 foot long.
That's what I said. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
he's bigger than that. He's probably gonna be more like 60 pounds. I would
Yeah,
think.
he was a daggum monster.
when he come up out of the damn water, paddling on top of the water, skipping like a fucking rock, I was like, "Oh, boys, that ain't a snapper."
Yeah,
turtle."
that little terrapin had me faked out, a little pond slider. I was like, man, I think I got him. I was like, went to go pick the turtle up, and then here comes the big turtle out. And I thought I got there for a second.
Yeah, as soon as he grew.
Hey, how
I'll tell
about-
you this much. I'll tell you this much. That turtle made me curl up. Like I curled up on that turtle. I should
I
have
got
had
the
him
video.
caught.
And
heard
both
of
y'all
that.
look like, yeah.
He scared me.
Oh,
He just came up out of the water. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
puss,
shit.
puss.
I didn't know which way he was turning.
That's what Carter was like. I don't know if it's
the
the head or healing. Or some shit like that. I was like, well, if he bites you, that's the head.
Yeah.
I was in
Yeah.
the video. I was like, if he bites you, that's the wrong end or some shit.
I'm disappointed none of your dogs made it up for you.
We didn't have none out there with us. That's probably why.
Yeah, I think all the
The
dogs
only
were at
reason-
the house. That we had more action without no dogs and nothing else.
yeah.
Just fucking off. Now, I mean,
Hey,
we
you
got
wanna talk-
into him that night, but
You want to talk about some tough ass country? How about Cody's tough ass kids, man?
let me tell you
Damn.
something.
Them son of guns are tough. Dude.
That baby girl, she got over there between me and Cody. She done got tired. Was it Saturday night? Friday night. And she was wore out. And she kept leaning over. She's trying to stay awake. And she's going to sleep. She's trying not to lean on me. And finally,
Yeah.
she just looked up at me and was like, "Hey, big guy, I'm fixing to use you as a pillow."
Yeah.
She used 12 as a pillow before.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she leaned over, and then I looked in the back seat, and the older girl, she was out there stretched out. And
Well, at one point it was 2:00 in the morning, and they're in the middle of the road making a fire.
yeah, that's what this was right after. This is when we were leaving, and Cody went one ditch and then after the other ditch. And
Oh, yeah.
just going side to
Took a
side.
little nap.
Yeah, I took a little nap
Yeah.
while I was driving. I was trying to hold the kids, hold the Garmin, hold the steering wheel, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is exciting."
I did that on the way home. I didn't hit a concrete bridge on the in Parky in Homerville.
Did you? No shit.
Yeah, dude, I was swerving and I was like, damn, man, I got to get some sleep. I was like, damn, there's a gas station about a mile up here. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to pull in there. all of a sudden, I woke up, bam, I was damn Ricky Bobby right there in turn 3 and just fucking a concrete bridge. Thank God I did not center punch that bridge. That
No
would've been not a good day.
shit. You didn't tear nothing
But
up, did it?
It bit my ranch hand, but I was able to take it up to the fire hall and I got it stretched back out right there
Jesus
yesterday.
Christ.
What a dumb dick.
We're good.
Boys,
I'm glad you're okay. I'm so
But that
glad
rumble
you're
strip,
okay.
strip,
why you
hey, I
said
blame
you-
it. They ain't had no rumble strips out in the middle of nowhere. And I need to fight for the damn county of Homerville.
that's
Get
it,
rumble
y'all.
strips out there.
We need some rumble strips, Homerville. Damn, I didn't know
No,
that.
but for real, all serious joke, man. If y'all are driving and y'all get tired, like seriously tired,
Yes.
don't try to push it out like I did. Just pull over and sleep, man.
We
Just damn-
got where we do
It ain't-
that.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I mean, yeah, usually I ain't scared to sleep, but I was like, damn, there's a mile up the road. I can get to this gas station. And
Yeah.
It ain't worth it because I could have easily lost my life that night. Easily.
Yeah,
And I
that
shoot-
could have been very, very bad. And and that's I would always try to get a little, me or Nate, somebody was always trying to sleep a little bit. Let's say if Rodney was driving or Joe's driving or whatever, but I was always able to drive.
Yeah.
And dude, a couple of weeks ago, it was like that. We were coming home and Rodney, he just looked, his whole eyes, boy, he's running. So I said, and usually I'm like, hey, pull over and I'll drive, He looked at me. I said, we need to pull over. He was like, yeah. He said, you're going to have to drive. I said, no, we're going to have to sleep. I said, because I'm tired. We've been on the damn roof all damn week and it's hot and I was just tired. I was like, I'm not going to push it. Used to, I did, you know, and it does. There's no sense in doing that.
No, there's no sense in doing it. I mean, and as many car wrecks and shit I've been to as being a firefighter, that was a dumb decision. That was like drinking and driving. You know what I'm saying? That was a dumb decision on my part. But I thank God nothing happened. I failed to fix the truck and fix the bumper, and everything's good to go. But going back to previous, we need to get Carter talking about when he was hunting with Lucas Scott and Desmond Hood, because I didn't get to make it there the night before they went out to the cornfield when they were catching studs.
Oh yeah,
I made it there that morning. We caught a good one with Kevin Brooks.
So, but y'all caught plenty of hogs up there. Did you have plenty of hog fat so that there? I'm glad y'all had one sow under the book. So when we got there wasn't no friction in that circle that would cause a fucking fire.
You're talking about down at Fargo, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once we got to Fargo, I was so worried about that. I said, if we don't catch a hog to get some kind of grease or lubricant for the circle, I said, it's going to be some fucking friction, and all this jerking is just going to fucking explode. And then fire. Here comes Carter. He's going to be out there in the middle. He's the pivot man. And then here comes Connor and Ryne. They're the firemen. Carter said, no, he's not.
He gonna have to hawk to it on that something.
Oh no! Go ahead, tell us about it, Carter.
I give them better than I get them. I'll tell you that much right now. No, man, I tell you, I pulled up at Lucas's. I got to Lucas about 8:00, and we was just sitting out on the front porch drinking beer, messing around, and Lucas had a daggum pimp on camera. Had one side that was rolled back. I reckon he broke his weather off fighting dogs or something. But he was a pimp, and we loaded up a couple of Lucas's rough dogs, and we had Trey's handheld thermal. And man, I'll be completely honest, that was about as seamless as it possibly could have been. We drove up there.
Thermal boy.
Count me in the Thermy boys. Count me in the Thermy boys. But we drove up there, and the hog was standing at the corn pile in the back of the field. Well, we dumped all them rough dogs on him, and we was just walking right behind them, and then they started getting closer, and he still wasn't moving. So we all took off running. They caught him about 10 yards off of the cornfield. Just smoked him, hammered him. He was strung out, and then Coon Dog went in there and really strung him out. Coon Dog had him caught on the ear.
Get out!
For a while.
That video.
We were trying to break stick him and beat him off, but he was hung. He was hung. I'm telling you that.
Carter, this is sounding fucking horrible, man.
You did such a good
Stop
job.
and think. You were doing so good. You said we were trying to get him off. You said we're trying to break him off. And you said we tried to beat him off, and he's like he was hung too. Don't say that.
He was hung.
Hey.
He was hung.
Yeah. You had to re-grip that thing a couple times.
Hot to it, baby.
No, there was no grip. There was no re-grip on there. He was hung. But
he just had a good hold of it, Ryne.
We got him apprehended, and then we went over to this cornfield.
Held him down and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Really, I got a video of Coon Dog him slapping that hog in the back of the head.
Jesus Christ.
But we went over to a cornfield and cast into a cornfield right after that with the same dogs that we had just used to catch that hog that we knew where he was at. We went and casted into a cornfield and caught about a 180, 200-pound boar hog out there. And we had to get him out of the way because, you don't want your combine getting caught up on a dead hog or run over a bone or something. So we were trying to get him out of the field, and nobody was in very good shape to get him out of the field. And so I carried him about 30 yards, and then they made me start laughing, and I dropped him. And then And then we spent about 45 minutes talking about how we were going to get him out of the field. And nobody was in very good shape to get him out of the field. And but we finally decided on just grabbing his legs and dragging him out of the field.
That usually works pretty good.
We got him out in about 30 seconds.
From the videos I seen, it looked like y'all did more damage to the corn than the hogs did that night. It looked like damn aliens been out there doing crop circles.
Yeah. There was definitely some crop circling going on for sure.
I mean, I seen the videos. I mean, like y'all had, y'all had a great time. But on a serious note, what you just said there was like, make sure to get that hog out of there so nobody's combine gets hung up on it.
Right.
How many thermal people out there do y'all even think about that?
That I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
how many do y'all like? And this is an educational moment because we probably have. I know there's thermal hunters that listen, and and we're not trying to be mean or none of that. But if you guys don't think about that, there is a very valid thing to think about. And I should have brought it up a million times. Carter, you're a genius. But it worked out.
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
for real though. You kill shit, pick it up, and take it to your house and take it through your gut pile. Or actually use the meat and actually use it. Don't just sit there and let it waste.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
When we went to the first time we came out there, we pulled up in that field, and I told Rodney, and Nate, I was like, "There's hogs here." Rodney said, "How do you know?" I said, "Look at all them dead some bitches laying out in the field."
Yeah.
You talking about down by the house?
Yeah, like whoever the thermal guys were, they shot them and just left them laying everywhere. I was like, look at that shit there.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
And so you got your dogs, and and I don't care where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm always going to have a young dog with me, no matter what. I'm probably going to have a dog that's green, because if you don't have something that you're training or working on all the time, you're not going to have that many dogs and last that long over the course of years, But it can be aggravating. And if I don't care whose dog it is, most dogs roll in dead stuff.
Yes.
And it's just,
I've seen people trying to sabotage. This happened to me, and it's happened to a bunch of people I've known over the years that they've had thermal people out there, and then they got, like, I have dog hunting rights in some places, and they'll dump them at the front gate.
Mm-mm.
And then they won't tell the owner, and then the owner will call me and be like, "Yo, were y'all not just out here?" I was like, "Yeah, but we didn't dump no hogs out there. Hell, I tie all my hogs." You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen people try to get sabotage people.
I'll be
set them up for failure over that shit. But,
yeah, that's some dirty shit right there. So if you do that, if somebody does that, if you're a listener and you sabotage people like doing that, you're a piece of shit. Yeah. I mean that in the best Christian way.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, that's how I feel. Sorry. But back to the good stories. All right, what about the rest of the South Carolina deal? Other than the damn
that night ended. That night ended, and I got there at like 5 a.m.
Party was over.
That was the first time.
No, the party was not over because I went to Waffle House.
Oh, that's when I finally got there, and we're like, all right, man, we're supposed to get there at like 6 o'clock, 6:30. We're supposed to be starting hunting or get ready to go hunting. From Lucas's. And it took all I had to get Carter's ass out of bed. It took me like 8 times to go get his ass.
I was.
We almost left him.
You had too much fun.
I took an Uber to Waffle House and Ubered back, and I think I laid down, and then I opened my eyes. I slept probably 30, 45 minutes, and opened my eyes, and dadgum, Ryne is like waking me up, and I was like, dude, I ain't even that mad at them hogs no more. I was like, we caught 2 studs last night. I don't even really care. He come back in there, woke me up again. He said, all right, we're fixing to leave on the 3rd time he woke me up. I was like, all right, I reckon I'll get up.
Well, I told you I have to wake up. I just drove 3.5 hours. I was like, some bitch, your ass is going. I'm here, you're going. Kevin just drove here. I said, we're all going. We're going.
Well, I mean, y'all can go. I promise you. I might hang around for a little while.
But we ended up going. Go ahead.
I heard one quote over the weekend talking about waking up and going hunting from Carter. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
We got a bear tree, boys.
That was when they came in there. They said they treated that bear, and I said, good for them.
If Carter ain't got no skin in the game or no dog, you gotta be motivated to go. Really motivated.
Oh, I promise you, if I'd had girl there, because I'd have been firing on all cylinders. I'd have been ready.
Well, it's nice to know that you didn't feel like that just because I was there.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Every time we go with you,
Thanks
Carter,
a lot.
you never bring girl hardly.
Well,
I
I will say this: I competed. I competed all week. I mean, I've driven. I've driven.
You're tough.
26 hours in the last
Okay, we'll
2
leave
days.
you alone. We'll leave you alone.
I'll give it to Carter though,
appreciate
because that next morning we went hunting with Kevin and them. The Texas boys casted them yellow dogs out, and they was hunting, and then we finally got a race going. We jumped all the dogs out on them, and we caught how big is that hog was? 200 pounds, Carter.
Which one?
Kevin's dogs up. At the time, when I had that cash money register on.
Oh, yeah. He's probably about 200, 180, 200. He was young. He's gonna be a stud.
Yeah.
Or he was gonna be a stud.
Yeah, he was gonna be a stud. Wink.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point was Carter was the first one to that hog. I was right behind him. He was the first one to hog, laid the hog. So he was motivated enough to go. He was motivated enough to get in there and work. So.
Oh, cuz when them dogs are barking, I'm gonna go because I don't care how tired I am.
We're lined up under a blackberry bush and fucking he's like, take my sunglasses. I couldn't even see Carter. We were some sick ass shit. I know you say like I said, Fargo's thick, everywhere's thick. Lucas got some thick spots too now.
Yeah.
Lucas has the thickest blackberries I've ever seen. Like those blackberries are like 14 foot tall.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're going to have a competition.
Like it's insane.
I'm telling you, we're going to have a competition because I know there's 2 spots.
Okay.
And those fucking blackberries are like that, and we're going to catch a hog. But you already have experience out there. So you need to come and you need to go in there and get the damn hog.
I'm not that mad at him. I might forget my dogs again.
Carter, you a damn lie.
You'll be
like
mad
you
as hell
said,
at him.
when you hear them dogs barking, smell a cold beer and maybe a cigarette, and you'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty fired up right now.
I will get pissed off at them hogs. I will.
I've seen it.
I'll be completely honest. Boys. I'm not mad at no big game right now. I'm tired.
I imagine hell, you're just now. What? You're just now getting home, right?
Yeah, no, I've. It's been a week since I've been home.
That's what I'm saying. You went to what, Louisiana? Because like we left yesterday and came home.
Yeah, no, I drove. I went.
You went to gym somewhere.
I went and picked up a black bear dog to take to Mike Colley's in Louisiana, and then drove home, fed my dogs, and then left from there and drove all the way out there last night. Got there about 11 o'clock and got a hotel room. Slept till about 6 o'clock this morning, and then drove about an hour to take the dog up there and then turn around and come back. So yeah, no, I'm pretty wore out.
I can imagine, but
about the whole week I've been running dogs or I've been driving, one of the two.
Yeah.
Rambling fever.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. Rambling man for sure. So we had after y'all did the South Carolina thing, y'all went straight on to Cody's, right?
I went home to see Spud. My grandma was bringing my niece up to stay up here for a week, and then Spud was dropping off some kennels that my father had bought. So I saw him, and then right at midnight, I left here to meet y'all at 5 o'clock, or meet them at 5 o'clock in the morning, because it's a 5-hour drive from my house to Dan Fargo.
Because that's what we were talking about doing, was meeting that morning, and I was like, yeah, we can do it if we leave now. And then I got to looking, and I was like, we didn't get off the roof till 9:30 that night because we were trying to finish it up while it was cool. And so I was like, well, damn, they're an hour ahead. And it's a a little over 7 hour drive for us. I was like, we won't even make it. So we just wound up driving in that morning, and we went that night.
Yeah, I slept about an hour that night, and Ryne called me. Ryne called me at, 1:20, Ryne?
Yeah, I was in Union Point. Yeah, I was heading south. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryne called me at 1:20, and I had my alarm set for 1, and I said I'd slept right through it, and I woke up, and I I punched it in my maps on how long it'd take to get to Fargo, which I should know. I've been there enough. But it said 4 hours and 30 minutes, and I was supposed to be there. At 5:30, and I had just woke up at 1:20. So yeah,
well, that's like
I
go ahead.
had to make up some ground on that one. But I got there. I was ready to go. Now, granted, I didn't have any dogs, but I mean, my dogs ain't no count anyway. It don't take that long to get them dressed up.
But hey, I honestly, man, I was tired of shit when I got back from South Carolina because we hunted that morning when I was there, and we hunted all that night. And then I let
yeah, you grinded. You did that twice.
Twice.
You did that twice.
Yeah, that's why I wrecked my truck.
I can only imagine how tired them Texas boys were after it was all said and done.
Well, I didn't even know I was going to go down to Fargo. I mean, I had a plan in my head. I was planning it. I had a bunch of stuff going on, family coming up. I just got back. Hell, I just got back before I went to South Carolina. I just got back from a funeral from Ohio. So I was driving all over the place. And then I was sitting there. And I was like, man, Mackenzie. I was talking to Mackenzie. I was like, man, they really want me to go down to Fargo and hunt. And the boys, I was just playing the little freaking, being a little winner.
Down, boy.
And she goes, I thought you were already going. Like, I thought that was the plan.
Oh,
like, yeah, that is the plan. That is the plan. I am going.
Yes.
I am going. Damn it, I'll be down there. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what, that's those two dudes right there. They were some of the most polite, respectful guys that I had met in a long time.
Who's that?
Not you, Carter. Not you.
Grinner.
No, of course Cody and Connor. No, I'm talking about Trey and Josh. They
yeah, no,
that's the first time I met them,
got
or actually got to talk with them. Do what?
Yeah. Them yellow dogs got after it too. Y'all weren't there.
I know. We didn't even get to see that, man. Then they said that they trashed on Yogi, didn't they?
They smoked up on Yogi Bear. That's for sure.
So we had Cody's the trail dog originally off of Josh Stander Oakley.
Tink.
Oh, poor little Tink. But that is a dog.
She ready, buddy.
You can literally see the rod, hanging out of her leg.
Yeah,
that's how badass she is. She's a hunting son of a gun.
Yes.
She is bad, but
we talked about this story before. Like that's if y'all don't, just first time listeners, that's a dog that Josh Stander gave Cody Godwin because he can't hunt him in the mountain because she broke her leg and got a rod in it, and she can't do the elevation changes so much. So she went to flatland for Cody Godwin, and she's been a hell of a dog for him.
Yes.
But Tink trailed one up, and we went up there to go up there and look, and about 100 yards before she hit the road, we seen old Slewfoot coming across the road.
Yeah.
And Josh had already said, he said, I ain't cutting my dogs loose on no bear. I ain't cutting loose on no bear. Well, when them Texas boys seen that bear cross the road, they said, dump the box.
Yeah.
And so we dumped Josh's 4 cur dogs loose, and they immediately started going back to Tink because she's open on trail, and they started going backwards. Well, we yipped them into the other side, and man, it took them a little bit of second to get going, but once we heard a cur dog go and give out that squeal and get up behind him, oh man, they were pumping him. They were pumping him. And, I mean, shoot, they fought the bear for 3-4 hours in there once they got him stopped. But the problem is the Joker ran into a block that had about 6 bears in it.
Oh.
And, I mean, we had stuff scattered out all over the place. Oakley had a bear treed, and she got chewed up a little bit. Those dogs were running in there. They were in the 6-week block. And there's a reason it's called the 6-week block, because the old timers, as Cody and Connor say, the old timers said if you go in there, it's going to take you 6 weeks to get out. And
I could see that.
And but we had game running all over the place, and we ended up catching all the bear dogs out, and the cur dogs are all wadded up, baying. And we sent Connor's Izzy dog to him, and she ended up coming back. And them boys got fired up. They said, "That's a bear. That's a bear." They knew, because Izzy, I mean, she's a hog dog. She ain't a bear dog, but they knew at that point. They knew at that point it was the bear, and I mean, those dogs have been in there. I mean, working, and I mean, it's really a testament to Josh and Trey and them fellows out there. I mean, to do that in that terrain. I mean,
and never see a bear before.
Never seen a bear before, and it was the first track we dumped on all day.
That's saying something about them dogs. Well,
that is.
I tell you, they got some yellow dogs, man.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was excited for them. Josh wanted to act like, you know, it wasn't nothing, but I know he was excited. Trey was fired up. Trey loves it. I mean, Trey was so daggone fired up. No, they really impressed me, because I mean, if you ain't seen that stuff, it ain't easy country, because that 6-week block still got water in it. It doesn't have as much as it normally does, but that 6-week block's still got water in it. And those South Texas dogs, they ain't never been in no kind of water like that to trail a bear or a hog or anything else, especially being as thick as it is. I was really impressed by Josh's dogs and the work that they did while they were there.
That Saturday when they had that bear treed Kyle and Jason, that was thick. But they had those little cordless saws, like little chainsaws, and they cut a trail in there. But I'm telling you, even though they had those, it was still thick. And that's what it was, an area that had water about right at knee deep, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was between half knee deep and knee deep.
There was holes all throughout.
Yeah, holes everywhere. I mean, just miserable, to say the least, you know. And I couldn't imagine going in without a trail cut in. So to have dogs that aren't used to that terrain and that kind of stuff on game that they're not used to, and still be able to perform, I mean, that says a lot about them dogs.
Yeah,
It says a lot about those guys. You know.
Yes,
that's right. They sure enough perform. They impressed me. Because I've hunted there probably more than anybody out of our groups, and man, it's hard to catch game there, because like I was telling y'all when you came down there, everything down there gets ran by a dog since it's grown. It gets ran, and they know where they can't get ran, because you got the Okeechobee, as them Texas boys were calling it, right next to it.
Yeah. They call it the Okeechobee, the Osceola County, anything besides the Okefenokee, they said that.
Rodney was calling it something else, and I don't know what it was, but he had some of the letters in there, right? But I don't know. It's but like I was trying to explain that to Rodney all Saturday night about the dogs, Friday night as well. I was like, this is totally different from the way we hunt, number one. Number two, it's dry. I mean, where we're at, it's hot and humid, of course, but like there's times where it's dry, but the general consensus here is if we strike a hog, we catch the hog. If you strike the hog, you're going to run him. It's never a guarantee that you're going to catch him. I seen that off the jump.
Well, see, I've been there a couple times.
It ain't no guarantees.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the driest I've ever seen it, though. I've been there a couple times, and that was the driest I've seen.
Oh, no, it's bad dry down there. But it's all the East Coast is bad dry right now.
And see,
it ain't rained here in 2 or 3 weeks. It ain't rained here in 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, it rained on Cody's wife. She sent us a video. It was pouring down wherever she was at.
Oh, for real?
Remember that, Carter?
Yeah, all we needed was that to hit that thing, and we'd have been cooking.
Yeah.
Well, I had Facebook memories popped up from last year. I was down there at the same time last year, and man, we were underwater most of the time.
Yeah. Well, that's what when I talked to Cody, I was like, well, it's wet, ain't it? He's like, yeah, usually I'd tell you bring hip boots, no doubt. He said, but Joe, he said, it's all, he said, probably just wear your regular boots or tennis shoes, and just change. So that, I was honestly surprised at how dry it was. Cause you remember when we went to Blackshear last year, or it might've been year before last. I don't remember. Anyway, when we went down there, we first met Nathan Brooks and all that, went down there with Matheson at that property he had, and we rode around in waist deep water all freaking day. And that was the terrain. That's how it was.
I mean, that's like we were driving around when we were just out there cruising, trying to catch big turtles.
Turtle snappers.
Yes, sir. Cody said, I've never been on this road.
Because it's always underwater.
It's always underwater.
Yeah. Well, you could tell it was just a trail, but it wasn't like really a road.
Right.
Because you could tell it's always flooded. Because there wasn't no ruts or none of that stuff in it.
No.
It's pretty wild though.
That country down there, I mean, it's hard. Like all of the game down there, they know what a dog is. They're used to getting run by dogs, and they know where that's from.
I wonder what the population is as far as dog hunters versus people that don't dog hunt in that county.
I don't know. Clinch County, man, they pile of dog hunters, and then
the population in Fargo is only like 2,500 people.
No, I'm talking about like versus like what I'm saying, like people that dog hunt versus the people that don't dog hunt, because like we seen one truck the whole time that did not have a dog box.
That's what I'm saying. I said there's 2,500 people in Fargo, probably 1,500 to 2,000 of them.
Yeah.
Hunt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would go with that. Cause I went to the store Saturday morning and, got me a cup of coffee, talked to a guy. He was out there collaring his dogs up. His buddy and them, they had one bait over there. He was going to help him. And, there was two other groups getting ready and collaring dogs up. I was like, good God. I said, y'all hunting with them? He's like, man, I don't know them. I was like, damn. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that like I was saying a while ago with us coming out there, it really hurt us because we don't have the population of hunters like that. These guys here bitch and complain that them hogs got pressure. They just run. Let me tell y'all boys something. Go down there. You'll see what running's like. These some bitches here, you might run them for 2 or 3 hours, but you catch them. Down there, like we literally had to change everything. We done everything different than we normally would. It was the first thing, but once we just kind of let midnight go off and just do whatever, we got something going. But it still wasn't like normal. Normally we're just burning it up. It's
crazy. It's crazy down there because it's like playing cat and mouse down there when you're hunting, because it's like, I don't know. I think about it like, damn, Smoking the Bandit, and then like they're trying to catch Smokey, right? Or you try to catch the Bandit, and the Bandit's running to the damn Okefenokee. You know what I'm saying? It's like a race to the Okefenokee. Like
it is.
You get on something.
There's a line you got to catch them by. You got to stop by that point.
Yeah, and they're just hauling, and they know it. It's weird how like Cody's like, we gotta stop and we gotta get to the bridge, or we gotta get to this road. We gotta get
went to
there
that
because
fucking bridge
he's like,
two
it's gonna
times
cross
on the same boar hog, and he smoked our ass both times.
Ain't it wild? And and they've been out there so many times and hunted that place so many times that they know where to go. They're like, we gotta get to this crossing point because that's the only place that hog's gonna go.
And that's exactly where they go.
Yeah, and exactly where they go. It's wild, man. It's nuts.
A lot of these guys around here, they'll start doing is they get shit like that going. They'll all get like shotguns and shit and shoot them as they cross the road. I said, I'm not doing that. We're gonna catch this son bitch.
Yeah,
that's what
That goes back to your game plan, and that goes back to your podcast, like you was talking about. You released with Uncle Pat with the buddy calling in. You got pre-plan this shit, and then try to maybe have somebody sit at that crossing point with a dog, or sit out there with a gun, or whatever you need to do. And sit there and wait, because if you know they're crossing there every time, hey buddy, you better just try that out. That might be a solution for you.
Well, if I ever get the chance to go back or get invited to go back, which I've already been invited to go back with Cody and them, of course, but if we ever all get together again, I'm gonna bring like 4 of just those rough running catch dogs that I got.
Yeah,
and that's what we'll use them for. Like I said, get to that bridge. No, well, I'm gonna be at that fucking bridge. I'm gonna be there when y'all go to the other end, and I'm gonna turn these some bitches loose, headed towards you.
Yeah, but see, hunting down there is a double-edged sword, man, because you can get some shit wrecked. You can get some shit wrecked. You'll catch some hogs that are running.
I know,
but you'll get some shit wrecked in there. Because like we had Pete, my stinky Pete dog, and then the Bay Pin 12 dog. When we caught that 190 pounder, 200 pounder in the Shankathon last year, and that's all we had, and they shut his ass down quick. But that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't in a terrible spot. But like, I could easily see a dog that's rough as hell.
Well, they were also flying over the clear cut when we got there.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a bad spot. I'm saying you get them into a bad spot, and it takes you an hour to get in there. You know what I'm saying? You're crawling through that shit. I don't understand. Like, I've always hunted it at nighttime, and I finally got to hunt it in the daytime and see it and see how thick that shit is. And I'm like, why in the fuck are we hunting this shit at nighttime?
Yeah.
Because like some of the spots, I'm like, dude, there's no business. Like, you have no business being there at nighttime.
You know why you hunt it at nighttime? I'll tell you the truth why you hunt it at nighttime.
No, that's why.
That's the only time the hogs are there.
Yep.
That's right.
They're going to come in there and they're going to eat the feeders at nighttime. And then as soon as that sun starts coming up, guess where they're going? Back to the Okinoki, boy.
Yep. That's the same thing the guys were saying with the bears and stuff, too. You know, they were like, that place comes alive at night. They said there'll be so much game there. It's just ridiculous. Early morning.
Joey, y'all missed it. So, like, typically, like, if we're trying to tree a bear, like, they'll drive around and mark tracks on the road of the bears because they want to make sure he's still there before they dump on it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're spending a pretty decent amount of time driving around just marking tracks, looking for bears to make sure he's still there. Because, you know, if you dump a cold-nosed dog on a older track and he's going straight to the Okefenokee, and those bear dogs, I mean, it's a hound thing. They don't have as much stock sense. You can't stop them once they're gone. Yeah. You can't. I mean, there ain't no toning them off.
They got a whole lot of go and not a lot of woe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna go. Yeah.
I know when the other morning I grabbed 2 of them pups, and these were young dogs. And that one little Walker dog, I promise you could have took a stick of dynamite and shoved in his ass and it wouldn't have bothered him. He was not turning around. He literally kept turning back toward the tree, and we were walking him out, you know, until he was passing out. Like his eyes were done bloodshot, swelled up. I was like, this somebody's fixing to die. He's going to pass out. Like he had no reverse to him. And like, you know, I've never been around. The only time I've ever been around any bear hounds was with Mr. Andy. And of course it was a different deal there. You know, we turned them out and cold trailed one up and got it going. And that's the only time I've been involved in that. But the other morning was a little different game there, you know. Of course, they already had him treed when we got there. And those dogs, they were talking about marking those tracks to see how many come in that night and then how many left.
Oh, yeah.
So they would know how many would still be in there. Like Carter was saying, and which bear they were going to run.
Yeah, that whole bear hunting in the flatland is a different game, man. Different game.
We'll be back after a quick break.
And now, thanks to the sponsors and friends of Dixie Doggers. Animal Housing Solutions.
Boars N Broads.
Crockett Taxidermy.
Hardcore Hog Dogs.
Southern Cross Cut Gear.
Ada Y Transport.
4L Kennels.
The American Doghorn Museum.
Unique Hound and Hunting Supply.
Hogbaying.com.
Tuskers Magazine.
Mud Creek Hog Dog Trials.
Well, it's
Well, I mean, you got a lot of pulpwood down there too. I mean, you got to get them in a specific block before you can tree them. Otherwise, he's just gonna fight you on the ground.
that's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of treeing.
You gotta have the tree.
Yeah.
Like Carter said, those little bitty slender ass trees they got 70 foot tall with a diameter at breast height of 6 inches.
Yeah.
That's the craziest looking forestry operation I ever seen.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
It's pulpwood, boys. It's pulpwood.
Shit, that ain't even
they
chip.
don't-
That don't even run chipper shit here.
Yeah,
that wouldn't even make
Like I
flakes.
said, a lot of the age mills in Mississippi have age limits, and Alabama's going the same way.
Really?
Like a lot of warehouses.
Well, I mean, they probably got age. They probably got age limits on them. That soil
Just
down
grows
there,
it different. Yeah.
it don't grow a whole lot of stuff, man. It grows blueberries. I know that much. But other than that,
Yeah,
I mean,
I seen some blueberry fields when we were leaving. I was showing Rodney.
you see all them. I mean, you drive in South Georgia, not that far South Georgia, and every field's got peanuts or corn in it.
Yeah.
How many peanuts or corn do you see down there?
None.
None. It's different soil, and
there's no agriculture over there.
they grow what they can grow.
I was kind of curious to that too, because I think Rodney was asking about peanuts. He said, "Where's the peanut field?" I was like, "That's not peanuts." And then we made it to, because I was talking about the blueberries. I said, "Well, I know over toward Blackshear and Alma." I said there was a bunch of blueberries over there, and then we finally seen some blueberries. But we seen one field, and I don't know what. That's the first time I haven't been able to look at an agriculture field and identify it. I don't know what it was. Yeah. It almost looked like tobacco, but it was too tall.
Gallberries.
I don't know. It was just a whole damn field. It was
strangely.
Was it like cabbage leaves? It stink.
It looked almost like cabbage leaves, kind of, but like we didn't get out and mess with it.
Yeah, there's some like some type of cabbage down there that they grow that stinks like a motherfucker.
Well, that's what I told Rodney. I said it looks like damn Brussels sprouts or cabbage or something, but I couldn't really tell.
They grow that sweet cabbage down there, boy.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Some of them grow that skunk cabbage too.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Skunk cabbage.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's some of that. One thing about that area, though, man, everybody was really laid back, though.
Yeah, man, they're good people down there.
Yeah, and then
they're good folks down there.
Getting to hang out with everybody, that was a big plus. And damn, Cody's cooking. Good God, that boy can cook.
Man, straight from the damn.
Yeah.
Straight that back trap or that tenderloin straight from the damn field to the damn smoker, man. That was a good shit right there from that south.
Yeah, it was. It was the cook on it was about as good as you could get.
I had a good time watching damn Carter do gainers off the damn cypress tree in the river.
Yeah, I got some video of that. I need to get out there. I forgot about them.
I legitimately, the first time I thought about going, and that thing caught my shorts. I was like, I shouldn't do that.
Hey, that was God telling you to get down one more step.
Yeah,
no, boy, no.
When he started to go, I said, "Shit."
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I like how none of us told him not to do it. We just pulled our phones out.
Exactly. We have it on video, boy.
Yeah.
When we start the Trey Moya Memorial Hog Hunt.
Yeah, who was that? That was Josh saying it, wasn't it? Yeah. Or some shit. Or it might have been Ryne.
Trey did it first.
Yeah, Trey was going to do it. But Trey ain't big enough to make a real big splash.
Trey cannonballed. I was just do a front flip off of it.
Yeah,
you did a front back belly flop.
Yeah, no, that's
how did Trey's cannonball compare to Rodney's cannonball? Rodney did a cannonball just right off the ground.
Rodney lowered the river level another foot when he jumped in there.
Yeah.
Rodney looked like a damn bobber for a fucking beluga whale.
We out here trying
Ron,
to get
I
this
love
sperm
Hot
wheel,
Rod.
boy.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he had so much fun. That
I
Sunday's had
love
so much
Rod,
fun.
man.
He couldn't
He
go.
came running right in there and hit a damn cannonball. I love that.
What about that
man.
foot race? I was proud of him.
Oh, I got a video of that. That's the fastest I ever seen him. Like that was impressive.
Well, he couldn't move the
That
next
was-
day. I mean, like went to the bear thing, and he was talking about something. That's what Carter told him. He said, you don't even get off the fucking buggy. That's why, or some shit.
Oh, he's
Oh,
coming.
man.
He's like, I can't go like that. I'm like, Rodney, because you don't never go like that. I was
Yeah.
like, you go like that, you won't be able to go like that. But I'll tell you this much: I love Rodney Bell, and
Rodney's good people, man.
that Joker's good people, man. That's good people right
He
there.
is.
That's my pride.
And look, we hard on him. I'm hard on him.
We are hard on him. We're always listen. You know as well as I do. Every single time, every chance I get, I'm gonna sit there and say, Rodney, them dogs suck.
Yes, and that's what you.
Hey, but if you're in our friend group and we ain't hard on you, something's wrong.
Yeah, we don't care.
And you're
We don't care
you're
about
just
you.
an innocent bystander
Yeah,
at that
Yeah.
point.
Or you just get into your feelings too much and you're
Yeah.
just
I've had to do that with Rod over the years. I'm like, man, look, the only reason I even say anything is because because we're friends, and if you're doing something that's not cool, or it's gonna hurt you, or that's just not right, I'm gonna call you out on it, and I expect you
Yeah,
to do
you
the
gotta-
same to me. And he
you
has.
gotta keep your boys in check, man.
Yeah.
You gotta keep your boys in check.
Well, without a doubt, you got to. That's what we're supposed to do for each other. As men, because some of us can deal with certain things and we can just deal with certain situations better than others, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't affect us.
That's right.
And that me and Rodney have had them talks before. He's told me, Joe, he said, there's a lot of stuff that just don't bother you. I said, oh no, you're wrong. I don't show it, but it does bother me.
And
What
that's
I
another
told-
point, right?
What
That's
I
another
told him
point.
the other night, Joey, I said, I don't care if you pissed off, I just better not know it.
Yep. Well, that was my only deal was the other night, and me and him, we had some differences. I mean, we wasn't arguing or fighting or none of that, but I could see where the mistake was happening, and he
Right.
didn't want to see the mistake. And I was like, it's actually not even a mistake. It's just something different. The dogs got their asses handed to them. The hogs were up there at the feeder. The hogs were at the road. We jumped the hog. We bayed hogs. The hogs broke and ran. And guess what? We didn't catch them. End of story.
Yeah.
There's no excuses. It just fucking happened. You can't
Yeah.
say,
You know
well,
what, you-
this dog made this dog do that or that one and that one. That's what I was telling him. I said, no. Sally didn't bring BB back. BB should have never came back. Period. If there's a dog out there and she's baying a hog or she's running track and another dog runs by her going the opposite way, she should never cut off that track. In my eyes, she needs to stay busy doing what she's doing. If she's a dog,
you just got to know that you're not going to win every time you go.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm
And
saying?
he was getting all. He's trying to come to terms with Sally becoming so old now that she can't hardly do it. And she literally, I mean, y'all were there Friday night. She got out of the box. She went 20 yards and come back. And she's never done that. There's been times where she didn't run all day, but like she just didn't feel like it.
Hell, I was mad as shit at my dog, Honey. I only brought Honey, and I was mad at her because she wouldn't get up out of my feet. And usually she's rolling with other dogs. She's just sketchy. She was not be able to catch her, and she had no pads on her feet. And that was me being ignorant, still hunting her. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
She
that's just called that ego.
But-
That's that
Yeah,
handler
yeah.
error. That's at 99%.
After that Ryne was this dog. I said, Ryne, she ain't got no pads on her feet. He said, I don't care. I was like, Ryne, come on, man.
That's what Rodney said about
I know.
Sally. He was like, I'll
but
shoot
I
that
was-
son bitch. I was like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Why would
Yeah,
you get mad?
I was just talking shit more like if I was hoping that soft sanded ground, Florida ground, or South Georgia ground would be tender on her paws. But I had all my dogs at the house have no pads on their feet right now. And
I
that's
wonder
because
how much difference that is in that sand versus regular just
I bet
soil.
I bet the sand feels good until you get off into the briars. You know what I'm
It
saying?
seems like the
I mean,
abrasiveness of it over time would be rougher.
Especially
Well, I mean, my thing is if you're running on red clay, and it's dry, I promise you, I mean, as much as we run them dogs up there at Lucas's, that's going to take a toll on them dogs. And I mean, part of it is their genetics, and part of it is how much you're running them on it.
Yeah.
But
I'm just curious about, like versus the sand and stuff, because like we run red clay.
right.
Everything here is rocks or red clay. There are a few places like the river bottoms we went where you and Kevin came over and hunted. That's like to me, that's our best stuff. It's so swampy ground and stuff. The dogs' pads hold good there. I don't know. It seems like it's the easiest terrain. You get up where we're at, and like I said, everything has been strip mined. So it's all rocks or briars, or rocks and briars. And then if there's dirt there, it's red clay. Like you said, that red clay is rough on them. And I think a lot of it has to do with the genetic makeup of the dog and how tight their pads are, how big their feet are.
And to be honest, man, I think some of it has to do where they stay. I mean, you got dogs stay on the chain. I think their feet will stay better because they're acclimated to the ground around them and they're used to running on that. And I got some animal house and switching kennels and I love them, but I got that damn poly floor that's really slick and really smooth. And I think them being there all the time, it doesn't put, their pads are almost don't get weathered down. It'd be like a person being in like in an office all the time, and then you take them out to do dig fence posts with the post hole diggers.
Put some
bed
liner on the floor.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I probably need to do something rough it up.
I'm being serious to do that, or take and put a like a poly based paint, and then throw some sand in the paint as it dries to add a little texture to it, but not too much texture.
Because you think about people that's got like concrete kennels and stuff like that, their nails are wore down and their feet are wore down. I mean, I bet part of it's that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm happy the way she hunted the first couple of days when I was in South Carolina, but like I said, I only brought one dog down to Fargo, and I didn't expect much. I wanted everybody else to hunt their dogs that were coming. So
we never really dealt with anything on pads much until we started just with mostly cur dogs, and we still haven't had to deal with a whole lot. Like, no, with the terriers, like with the Airedale stuff and the jag blood and all that, and the bulldog, bird dog shit, we ain't dealt with no pads.
It's funny you say that, man, because I've had like some of my best dogs have the worst feet, had the worst feet problems. You know what I'm saying? They're just soft footed, like, the big, hard, tough feet run the catch. Yeah, well, they don't have no damn. The ones that dogs got, they have big hearts, run the catch. They ain't have fucking shit working tough feet. I can tell you that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what it is on our side of it, and I know guys who have dealt with that, especially guys that run hounds, especially like big tree and stock, got real big feet, and they're splayed open more. And I don't know if that how much that hurts them or helps them.
There you go.
We need to get somebody on here that's a foot expert, not like a foot fetish, but knows about dog feet. I wonder who we could get.
Oh, I don't know. I got a question for y'all though.
Oh Lord.
Here we go. Yeah. This for you and Nate. You ready? What's one lesson you guys have learned since starting Dixie Doggers that you think everyone should learn at some point in their career?
If they do you wrong the first time, they're probably going to do you wrong again.
Okay.
Don't give them a second chance.
No second chances. Damn. All right. You're holding the grudges. No second chance. I hear you.
If they truly do you wrong, if you feel like they truly did you wrong, don't go back to a friendship or a relationship for your feelings, because they apparently did not care the first time.
Yeah, that's for personal feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can deal with some of the shadiest, sorriest son of bitches in the world as long as they do good on business.
Oh yes.
If it's a business relationship, depends on what the relationship is. My thing is the biggest thing that I've learned would be to make sure that you pass it on, and to always be open-minded. Yes. When I say open-minded, I mean, like, don't knock somebody because they do something different than you. And there's like 3 parts to mine. One is always express what you truly know in a fashion that's respectful. If you know something's a fact, and you've done it and you've dealt with it, and somebody's having a hard time doing something, you can give them some advice, you know, but make sure that you know what you're talking about. The other part would be shut the fuck up because you don't know what you're talking about most of the time. And that's a fact.
That's the truth right there.
That is the truth. They're like, well, if you bring your dogs down here, they ain't going to do that, blah, blah, blah. What? Shut the fuck up. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know because you're not running these dogs. And I can't tell you what they'll do because I ain't been there and ran them damn dogs either. It's called it's called being a realist. You cannot make assumptions. That's the biggest thing that I've learned.
That's why I never like that. I never brag on my dogs and none of that shit because I was like, hell yeah, my dog's gonna fucking smoke it, and then look like total ass, you know.
Yep.
Like that's I agree. Those are good answers to that question.
I just like I said, as far, but you know, that's like that would be more like on a personal level for me, is because like me and you were talking before we started recording. I'm kind of the last guy that was in the original group that I started out with. Those guys were already doing it. Those guys were real hunters. They had real dogs. They caught hogs. And I was blessed enough that my uncle carried me on a hunt with one of them. I just happened to went to school with him 15 years earlier. And we, you know what I'm saying? It just went full circle, blah, blah, blah. We didn't want anybody to know nothing. I was one of those guys that was like, we didn't want newcomers. We didn't want nobody else getting involved in what we were doing. And it was great for the time. But at the same time, there were so many things and opportunities that I missed, that I could have taken advantage of in a different way and been way ahead. There's a lot of things that you can do to learn and to grow. And there's a lot of things you can do to hurt yourself. And the thing about it is you never know until it's way on down the line, until it's already passed. You can't live life backwards.
In the face one day.
That's right. You cannot live life backwards. It can't be lived in reverse. You only can go forward. And that's the thing. If we're all going to go forward, I had a guy I talked to and we were talking about the culture. He made a very valid point. He said, all you boys do, and like he called me out on some shit in a way, you know, and he was like, well, everybody, he said, you always preach this unity thing. I was like, yeah. He's like, that's a good thing. He said, but at the same time, don't succumb to anything else. He said, preach the culture that we are in what we do. He said, and don't be ashamed of it. And you know, it makes a lot of sense because the unity factor of it is like what we're doing. And there's other guys out here right now. And I could be like a lot of other people. And I could say, well, this guy said this about me. And this guy said this about this one and all that. But most of those guys won't say names. I will. Right. I will. The unity factor is like we all got together this past weekend and we had a great time. I mean, like you said, it was guys from Texas, from Florida, from Georgia, from Alabama, from all over the place. And none of us, there's quite a few of us. Like I hadn't never got to meet most of those guys, but had a great time. But then you got these other people out here that's on the internet and all they do is they want to poke fun at you. And they want to say you're a clique. Or like Alex from Best Camo sitting there and saying, oh, this is a big old circle jerk and all this stuff. Well, why would you say that if we're supposed to be preaching unity? Yeah. You know, I know it's a little dig or something like that, and it's probably all in good fun. But it ain't funny to me.
No, I agree.
It ain't funny to me. Say what you need to say. Don't beat around the bush. My number's 205-275-9003. So anytime we're having this unity problem, if we can't be unified, all we're doing is tearing each other apart. If you want to go on a hunt, call us. We ain't told nobody no. We're not some little secret group. We ain't all that bullshit. Yeah. All we do is run dogs. People, man.
We run dogs and we travel, man. People say what
be about it.
About us.
Be about it.
They want to tell you something about Dixie Doggers or Boars N Broads or even some of the Texas boys. man, we will show up. Like, if we'll find time, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be next year, but by golly, our ass will be there eventually.
Oh,
be there.
The guy I talked to at the store, his name is Charlie Watkins, and he recognized when we started talking for a minute. He was like, "Dude, you drove all the way down here," and him and Raphael Holmes are friends, you know.
Oh, you seen Charlie Watkins down there?
Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Charlie. They caught some nice.
You didn't name drop. I know him.
Okay, I told I told Cody. I asked him, did he know Charlie? And he was like, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, Carter. Y'all gonna have to get everybody's name starts with a C, and I'm old. And I started to get riled up a little bit about this shit sometimes. You know, it just gets me fired up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
mad at the
It's almost
ball.
like you care.
well, that's what I'm saying.
I can feel it down.
The biggest thing I'm trying to learn is everything that I was against. Now here I am. You put yourself out there on the line. I asked for it because I put myself out there. Mr. Dean Ross is the one that called me out, said, hey, let's preach a culture. And that's the culture. The culture is, hey, most of us are kind of a rougher crowd. We're a rougher crew, you know, but I ain't no punk. I ain't scared to say nobody's damn name. Say the name.
Stand on some business, boy.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. And I'm not doing this for no kind of clout or no bullshit like that. I'm just saying, if there's an issue, well, let's don't do that bickering back and forth or say, well, they did this or they did that or whatever. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Don't listen. Turn the motherfucking channel. You know, I'm just saying it. And then, you know, if you're going to support somebody, support them. If I like your photos, I like your stuff. Hey, I support you, and I'm gonna do all I can do. You know, and I'm not gonna turn around and badmouth you over here on the side.
Yep,
that's right.
You know, I'll bet if you hunt with us and we all hang out together, I'm gonna talk shit about you while you're there. Like we got through saying, we're gonna give you a hard time.
Hey, Ron, quack, quack, boy. Quack, quack.
Well, it is, ain't it?
Quack, quack,
that's right.
boy.
That's right.
So
don't get me started.
Well, I'm just saying, I wasn't even going on that, and I don't know, because, like I said, that was one of the whole reasons I was like, we're all trying to preach this unity thing.
Yeah, but my whole thing about that, man, if you're gonna get on Facebook and do it, man, like, at least like fucking admit who you're talking shit about.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not, and Alex, if you're listening, man, I'm not trying to dog on you by no means. All I'm saying is I seen that. I didn't respond or nothing, you know. I think Nate said, hey, who is it or whatever. And like I said, he probably he might not even mean it that way. But
he might not.
But if it is, say it. Don't.
That's right.
Listen, I'm going to tell you from experience. Don't grab that bear, because that son of a bitch will bite you. I seen him Saturday morning in a bind.
Yeah.
Don't get too close. But at the same time, we've got to meet. How many people have y'all met since y'all been doing this that tell y'all they look up to you? You're a role model. Their kids look up to you. Man, they just
hundreds, if not thousands. I mean, legitimately
thousands. And they should, and because we're nobody, But
we put ourselves out there like that. Me and Carter talked about this the other day. We asked for this shit, so now we got to step up and be about it.
Yeah, that's right.
So it sucks in a way, because like there's sometimes I'm like, Lord, I don't need to say this, but I got to say this. And that, you know, that's just how it works sometimes. But when you have people that look up to you and do those things, the hog hunting world has changed. And just in the past few years, it has changed drastically. Because I can tell you now, 15 years ago, you would never see that many guys from different states with all these different dogs doing this shit annually. There might be that, and I'm not going to say there never was, because there's always groups here and there. But as a whole, you see it all the time. People that aren't even around us, that we don't even know, they'll be inviting other guys. Hey, y'all come on out. Let's go run dogs.
That's right.
And that's what it should be about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's people always ask me, like, what's the biggest thing that you've gained from Boars N Broads? Like, friendships. Like,
Oh yeah, friendship, relationship, and experiences, 100%, 100%.
Yes.
I mean, I can legitimately tell you right now that if I get on I-20 or I-10 and drive west, and my tire comes completely off of my trailer because I hadn't replaced it. Well, we got the black shirt tire. We got to tell that story later. But if my tire just comes completely off my trailer, wheel blows out, bearing blows out. I mean, everything's cooked. I mean, legitimately, from here to South Texas, there is somebody that I can call within 2 hours that's going to say, "Hey, Bill, I'll come out there and help you."
Yeah, for sure.
And there ain't that many people that got that. But at the same time, like, you got to be open to having that. Like, I tell people all the time, I trust people. Like, I mean, people can have my trust until they take it away. And then at that point, then it's screw you. But I mean, shoot, I'll ride for you as long as you'll ride for me.
Yeah. And that's 100%. The thing is if we're riding for if we're in this shit for each other. And I mean, that goes for not just us as me and Nate and Carter and Ryne, but I mean like me, Nate, Carter, Ryne, Desmond, you got Connor, you got Cody, you got Justin Beck, you got these are all these celebrity hog hunters, right? Well, then you got all these other guys that nobody supposedly knows. That's who we are. We're the same fucking guys.
Yeah.
All we did is we put it in a different light, and people seen something that we were doing. That's the only difference.
And this is beating the dead horse. We started Boars N Broads not just to fuck around and have funny content and stuff. We did it to promote everybody. You wear a shirt, you take a picture with a hog, we're going to post it.
Y'all don't even post pictures of yourselves.
Exactly. It's a community thing. You feel me? It's community. It's never been about us. It's been about the B&B brand, and it's a community.
Yeah.
The biggest hog Ryne and I have ever caught together did not even make the Boars N Broads page.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
And he was a man.
Yeah, he was a damn hell of a damn hog there. But that's what I'm saying. It's like just little stuff like that. And like I said, once again, I ain't trying to dog on out. So he's got a good business. That's the thing. We're all in this trying to make a go of it as a business, because that's the dream everybody has. If you're out there and you got hog dogs and you run them and you love it, you're a damn liar if you sit there and say, I would never want to do this for a living and make money doing it and get paid to do what I love. If you say that, then I think you're lying. Going
off that, I know Carter's about to say something. Speaking of that, you know who's got a new business that's been out for a little bit that's popping off? Have y'all seen it yet? It's called Lighthound. They got some cool shit.
Yeah.
Y'all got to check him out. Yeah, I've been talking to him a good bit. He's out of North Texas, and he himself doesn't run hog dogs.
Yeah.
But he's North Texas, so all his buddies got hog dogs. He runs blood trail dogs.
Oh, okay.
And man,
I know what you're talking about now.
He's been sending me pictures, and that joker, man, he's
tree dog stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They got killer.
I think he's just in it for all around working dogs, tree dogs, and like a lot of his designs are
they are fire, bro. They're dope as hell.
They're sweet, and we're cooking up a little collab with him.
So that's what I'm saying. So he does what he does, like t-shirts and stuff like that, designs as well.
Yeah, t-shirts, pretty much kind of the same thing we do. But I mean, he's got a really good designer. A really good graphic artist, and he won't give me the name of it, but that's okay. I just told him, I was like, look, dude, I said, I'll send you what I want, and we'll do a collab on it, and it can be B&B/Lighthounds on the front of it. I don't care, but that guy's really good, so let's get his work out here.
All right.
But no, I mean, he does a good job with all his stuff.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. And like I said, there's several people that are in the industry that are starting to make moves. Like you said, they're up and coming really good. And like I said, look at the best camo. He's been out for a while. He does a lot of work. Honestly, I probably heard of him before I heard of anybody. That's the celebrity.
He does a lot of work and he does a lot of good work.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. We ain't taking nothing away from nobody, but ain't nobody taking nothing from us.
Hey, but I am gonna backtrack real quick.
But
if you think I'm a celebrity hog hunter, I said if you think I'm a celebrity hog hunter, come hunt with me and we'll see who's the better hand. We'll go.
I hope
we
I'm there
and
y'all go to my dogs
on a cast, but we'll see who gets to the bay first.
Well, you might have better dogs. You might have better dogs, but we're gonna tie. We'll have that some bitch tied up, ready to put on the 4-wheeler before you even think about it.
I promise you. I ain't against work. I showed up. I did not hunt a dog all week.
You was the first one to our dogs.
First one to
that's because I let you. That's because I let you,
man. I love it. It ain't. God, I don't care.
Get
if
that
it's
passion
my dog
out there, big boy.
Else.
Come on, say it.
I love it, man. It's just you and Nate saw how mad I was at them hogs the other night. Like I did not have a dog on the ground.
Yeah, we were starting to get a little pissed off ourselves because it's like. Okay, we know we
drive all the way to motherfucking Fargo not to get a fucking pig.
Because like we were on hogs. Now, please, people don't misunderstand that because like we ran a lot of damn hogs the first night. We just didn't. We didn't. Hogs. Yeah, we ran a lot of them.
Hey, people get humble down there.
Yeah, and that's what did I say, Carter?
We wanted to go.
The other night, Saturday night, I said this is the absolute best thing that could have ever happened. Ever.
Yeah. It's such.
It wasn't easy
for the young dogs.
Like
Louis running a few different boards and not finishing the race. I think did more for him because he just stayed out and he tried to find.
Yeah.
That one time Louis stayed out an hour or more just trying to pick that pig back up, and it's like I know that Louis will at least fucking try for at least an hour.
Yeah.
He's at least got that.
Well, and that's like he's never been on much, and we only road hunting. And like he stays really busy.
As long as you don't give him no damn peanut butter.
He went on. He got on that peanut butter barrel. That somebody was giving her hell.
We don't need to go find nothing to eat. It's all right here.
But it was so different, and having to do that. Once we finally got mad enough, it was like, okay, look, we're going to kill. This is happening.
We're getting a pig.
Then the Bluetooth come on. AC/DC come on. And look, when y'all was telling me that shit, y'all said the first time y'all went down there, he's like, y'all pull up to the bay, you got AC/DC blaring and all that. I was like, how? How's
Kmart girl down there?
Dude, we rolled up in that sumbitch. First we had what was it? Amos wrote. I think we had Amos Moses a few times playing. Then we got deep into. Oh, we had some George Jones earlier in the day, and it was like, boys, we're gonna have to cut this off because I got to get to the liquor store.
Hey, what did we do? When old Midnight finally bayed that hog? We sat there and talked about it. We dumped. We said, the whole
what did I say? Here was the plan.
To a bay.
It was locked down. And Cody said, he said, well, you think them dogs are I said, listen. He said, we can either just get down there and walk the bulldog in. I said, well, these some bitches have been sitting in this box all weekend. He said, cut them loose. He said, I can send my 2 in there. I said, let's just send them. And the only ones we didn't see, how many did we dump? 6?
Yeah. Oh, we dumped a pile of them.
6. Well, I mean, there was already, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 more. And but now she had it locked down. And it was close to the road. The
hog was bayed, and under normal circumstances, I mean, we would never turn a dog loose to a bayed hog.
We knew. We were like, Rodney was like, well, they get in there and all of them get on. I looked at him. I was like, it's fixing to break. I promise you.
He literally said, this hog is fixing to break.
Yeah. And the dogs were getting closer, and I said, and I think I got a video. I said, we're going to turn these to it. And we're fixing to fuck this whole bay up. So I said, they're almost there. I said, bam, bay's fucked up. Here goes the hog. And it shows it running like 60 more yards and sit down. I was like, but we had so much fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that was the thing. It wasn't, I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't about catching the hog at that point, but at that point it was just like, man, let's see let's see the limits that we can go to.
Yeah.
We'll dump 6, 7 other dogs that are all different styles to this. We know it's gonna break, but let's see how far it can run.
I know it didn't go far.
It did not go far.
It did not go far. And I'm talking about there's a couple of those dogs in there that will weigh a 5-pound piglet. They was hanging on.
Yeah.
I was like, well, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Louie was mad at that sow. He's usually not real bad about coming off of it. He usually ends up leaving, but he's mad at that sow. He wanted to stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Carter had to swat him back a couple times, didn't he, with Louie?
I swatted him once. I mean, I'll be completely honest about that too. I mean,
that's what you're supposed to do.
6 or 7 dogs on them hogs, on that hog, they got off easier than any 6 or 7 dogs. I mean, I swatted them a couple times, and they got out there and went on to try to find the next one.
I think Rodney wound up calling Midnight Sally back up there, or they might have went back up there to the truck, but a couple of them took off, and then or to the buggy, and then we all wound up going up to the buggy, which I mean that was fine too, because hell, it was what, 2:00 in the morning again.
Yeah, we were deep in there at that point.
Honestly I don't remember. I figured it was probably 1:30, 2:00 or later.
Yeah, we were pretty deep. We had to work for them. There ain't no doubt about that. We had to work for that old titty sow.
Yeah, that
yeah.
Well, that's what Rodney said. He said you could hear some screaming. He said, well, I hear them pigs screaming, or little pigs squealing. And we were walking. We were back there at the back of the buggy. I was like, I didn't hear any little pigs squealing. And then we got in there, and I seen them on titties. I was like, well, he might have heard some little pigs squealing. Rodney probably was hallucinating. I think he ate one of them damn spiders or licked a frog or something while he was down there. I think it might have been licking a frog.
I was about to the point of hallucination at that point.
Dude, I don't see how y'all did that shit that long.
That sleep deprivation will get you.
That sleep deprivation, man, I promise you'll see like a tree laid over or a tire or something. You like, man, that's the biggest hog I've ever seen in my life, and I'm fixing to dump the hog from it right now.
Yeah. Oh
man.
man.
I gotta switching gears up. I got another question. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You and Nate. All right. Who is your dream person to interview on this podcast?
Daggum. Hit y'all with the thickness.
Who? Anybody. It could be, I want to say dead or alive, because that'd be kind of cool to do some dead folks. But you can't do that, obviously. So let's do a live people.
No, we could do either one. We could just theoretical. I don't care.
Yeah.
We could do both. We could do one. If you can have somebody from the past and then somebody from now.
Yeah. Because if somebody's alive, we might be able to reach to them and get them home.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Who do you think, Nate? You do yours and I'll do mine.
I don't know. That one's hard for me. I don't have just one that can.
I stumped them.
No, I got mine. I got mine.
Go ahead and say yours.
All right, mine be Daniel Boone. If we're not living, Daniel Boone, number one, because he's a fucking man.
I was thinking the same thing.
He's not a bitch.
You singly extra paid.
Well,
black bears out of the Smoky Mountains.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. He was
to extinction.
So this man right here is, he was a dog man. He was a mountain man. He was a hunter. He was a farmer. He was a woodsman. He was a carpenter. They had to do everything. They were men. I'd probably shut the fuck up and just let him talk. And there ain't many people I'm going to do that for.
Wouldn't that be a time, man? Like, wouldn't that be a time to sit there and listen and hear some of them stories? And
yeah, it really would be. And there's so many that's alive. I'd be like, hey, I'd like to do that, like this one or that one or blah, 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 anything. But it would probably be, I'm going to say probably Johnny from Collar the Dogs in Australia.
That'd be good.
Like,
we would make that happen.
He would be one of them. And the reason is because like he's open. He's not, he's a celebrity guy, but he doesn't act a celebrity guy. Yeah. That's kind of what I don't know. That would be one of them. And the other would be Donald Trump.
There you go.
Junior. Donald Trump
Okay.
Jr.
There you
But
go.
Big Daddy Trump, he can do all his stuff. He knows what he's doing on that other end. I ain't seen that man be shooting nothing, so I got to talk to Little Trump.
Well, since learning that
There you
Tucker Carlson hunted with bird dogs,
There you
I've
go.
been very intrigued. I'd like it'd be like
That'd be a good one.
And I'm not even like a huge Tucker Carlson fan. More just like I just like hearing people's opinions. I just like hearing what you got to say. I don't even care if I agree with you. I just want to know what you think.
Okay.
Very soon.
Do what, Bub?
Yeah.
Said Tucker Carlson coming to Dixie Doggers very soon.
Hell
I'd shit
yeah!
my pants if Tucker Carlson.
All right, well, who would it be
go-
if it was somebody that wasn't here?
wasn't here? If it wasn't Daniel Boone,
This is a good topic, to
I
have.
mean, I couldn't say an individual, but I could say like a group of people. Like I'd always be more intrigued on Native Americans and their dog breeds.
Yeah.
What kind of dog
Okay.
breeds do Native Americans have in the Southeast already? And like
Yeah.
the Spanish settlers, they brought over dogs and pigs and slaves. And it's
That
like,
would be somebody that'd be
or-
cool. Some
or
kind of
maybe even like
Spanish settlers.
it's like some of the
or
slave,
conquistador.
like the slave owners, like their dogs, like
Mhm.
or not slave owners, the slaves, their dogs.
Mhm.
Because I mean, a lot of times they were keeping and raising these dogs for slave masters, and a lot of what they ate was from what they resourced themselves.
Yeah.
And so I think that'd be really cool. Anybody like that in that super early time. I mean, I feel like a lot of the settlers were super well documented, but like slaves and Native Americans, a lot of those minorities, they don't have very good documentation of what they were doing at the time.
No, and like
That's right.
the Bear Grease podcast, I think that's the one I was listening to. That
Yeah, Bear Grease is good.
that Cody told me to check out. He's
Is it
one
the
of those guys.
The
in
plot
there-
hound one?
Huh?
Is
Yeah, about the
it
plot.
one-
Yeah,
the
about the
one-
plot hounds.
Yeah,
Leroy
the
Clark.
origin of the plot. Yeah.
Well, it was one of them. It might have been Ben or Tracy Jones, one of them, and they were talking about. No, it was Roy. He was talking about the best dogs. He said that you're never going to know who has them. That the best dogs that were ever made are behind the old man's shed or beside some country boy. That he's not competition hunting. He's not doing this, not doing that. He's hunting.
Yeah.
He hunts that dog, and that's going to be the absolute best dog in the world. But nobody's going to know that
Because he's just truly in it.
because he's in it for the love and and for the dogs. And I think a lot of that would hold true. I would like to find somebody like that you could really pick their brain and talk to.
Well, here's the follow-up question to that. Do you think we have seen, even if we haven't seen it, do you think we've seen the best hog dog that'll ever walk the earth?
No.
The
think-
single best hog dog or single best breed
The-
or
The
as a whole?
single best hog dog. Do you think
That's-
it's already walked the earth, or
I
do you
don't-
think
no.
it's still to
No.
come?
If I was to answer that, I would say no because the
No,
hog is always
without a doubt.
evolved. The hog is always evolving.
Yeah,
Right.
he's not here yet. About 2 more years
Yeah.
he'll be here.
On your yard, right?
Yeah.
No, without a doubt, not on my yard.
Probably on your yard, Carl.
No, because here's the thing:
Yeah.
it's form over
It's
form for function. Okay, you take that into consideration, but then you take functionality at its best versus peak performance over here. What is that in your eyes versus my eyes versus Nate's versus Ryan's versus Tucker Carlson's versus Martin Luther King Jr.'s? Everybody has a different view. So
That's a good point. That's a good
hey,
point.
well, don't ask Randy Durrell that question.
well, the reason I'm saying that is
yeah.
because
I'm asking you
well,
Randy that question.
exactly. And Randy's going to listen to this, but at the same time, like he talk, catching a couple big hogs and doing that stuff. Hey, my man's out there doing it. But
Yeah.
as a whole, for like period of years and years and years and years, what works versus what doesn't work, it changes in people's eyes. Like I said, always be open minded. And I'm not tooting my horn because I don't have dogs worth of shit hardly, but I've had some that over the years that were pretty decent. And it always goes back to a dog that everybody says, man, can't have dogs like that. You'll get killed. Caught more hogs with them consistently over the years, without a doubt. And we actually have a guest that, like I said, Dean's going to be on here. We've already recorded one with him. We're doing another one. He's doing the same thing, using a little bit different breed, but it does hold true. Like I said, that everybody has a different opinion. When you catch a hog, we're killing them. And in certain areas, you don't want to kill them. You know, certain places you got buying stations. Because I promise you, if I didn't have to kill all the hogs, I wouldn't be killing them. Yeah. So therefore, I wouldn't want a dog that was really rough that would tear a hog up, because then I couldn't sell him or keep him up, or he'd be all tore up. So then I'd have to have a different style dog. Like I said, it's all that depends on where you're at and what you're doing. But the best dog ain't walked the earth yet, I don't think.
No. There's so many variables and factors.
Like you said, he's always evolving. Probably coming off Cody Godwin's yard.
Yeah, I mean, I asked y'all an impossible question just to see
what the views were. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that.
And that's what. And you know, the thing about it is,
always room for improvement.
I think everybody should be like, yeah, I think everybody should be open enough to do that, because there's going to be people you ask that and they're going to like, yep, so and so had this dog over here, best one it's ever been, best one to ever be. Yeah. Then you're not very smart.
But I do think there's been a top, like if you had a top 100 list, there'd be a top 100 list made though.
Well, that's why we got to do the Hog Dog Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the NFL top like 100 list, there would be one like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like a Hall of Fame.
So that's what I'm saying. We need to do a Hall of Fame.
It's really hard to quantify it, you know. And I think, you know, maybe instead of looking at it at a Hall of Fame, you look at it as like, I don't want to say like an achievement award, because that sounds super watered down, but like dogs can achieve in so many different levels, and dogs can achieve in different environments differently than they can achieve in other environments. You know, a dog that finds 200 hogs in one place might find 2,500 in another place. It depends on the environment, the situation, and things like that. Like, I mean,
we just did it this weekend.
Right. I mean, a phenomenal dog, like it's hard to quantify it. And, but you know when you see it. That's the thing about it. You know when you see it.
Yes. And that's what there's so many people out there that they have that ego and that damn pride, that mental incapacitation about themselves, where they're like, oh no, my buddy's dog is better than any dog ever. And that's why I was saying, like, if you could do a Hall of Fame, only way you could do it is if whoever's running, it would have to be, everybody would have to see what this dog done, or how would you know?
Yeah, right, that's true.
You know, it'd be really hard unless you had, like, say, that red man dog, Junior on. What is his name? Yeah. Down there at Tadpole Limbs, his grandpa, that red man dog. Marc Bannister. Like, there's literally, I've talked to at least 50 people, whether they were in Georgia or Mississippi or Alabama or Texas or Oklahoma. And I've talked to people at all those states, and they'll talk about the best dog, and they'll say, well, I seen this dog named Red Man one time. And that's what they bring up every time. So, you know, it had to be a dog like that.
Yeah. There you go. Just that's how you can quantify it.
Yeah.
You just, every time somebody brings up a dog's name, you just mark it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, mark a tally mark. Put a tally mark.
But, I mean, at the same time, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The best dog you've ever seen, you ain't never seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't never seen it.
Yep. And the guys that coon hunt, competition coon hunt, every one of them will tell you the same thing. I'll say, well, who's got the best coon dog in the world? They'll say, well, probably some 70-year-old black man down in South Mississippi somewhere behind a barn that runs loose and is fed table scraps.
Yeah.
And they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because if you ever get the chance to go with some of those guys and they kick them dogs out and you're like, oh my God, you know, you're like, damn. Like you said, if you know anything about it, you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah. You'll know it. Mm-hmm. You think you got hog dogs. I mean, it's just the age old adage. You think you got hog dogs till you see a hog dog.
Yeah. And just because you breed a bunch of them up and sell a bunch of them or give a bunch of them away or whatever does not mean that that's the best.
No, sir.
Because I know several people, and I know people that all ends and all through the middle of the spectrum on that. I know people that breed really good dogs and give them away. And I mean, they are phenomenal. And I know people that breed really shitty dogs and sell them for a lot of money. And you know,
Yep.
that it would be so hard to do it on that because like we don't have the type of field trials and exposure to really see what a hog dog could do at full potential.
I'll be honest, it's I mean, it's like we've talked about, it's extremely difficult to replicate all of the variables that you have in any given situation to create an adequate testing system for a hog dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you think would be okay, so and I know you deal with this a lot, Carter. What would be the ultimate? Let's not say, let's say testing facility. If we had to have one to make it where we could have as many variables as possible, give us a rundown on what we'd have to have.
All right, if you want
not training,
all right,
but testing.
If you legitimately wanted to test how good a hog dog was, and I say this relatively because it's different people are looking for different things. Mm-hmm. But if I was looking at just saying, okay, what is the best hog dog I could find? I would have a 250-acre pen with one boar hog in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now you're talking.
250-acre pen with one boar hog in it. And here's the thing. It might take a couple, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 hours to jump him. But I mean, I don't own any dogs
you fixing to break a bunch of people's hearts because they finna tell you a damn lie. It's 250 acres in a pen.
Right. Yeah. No, I've seen it before. I've seen it before.
And we seen it in 6 acres in Texas, and some bitches couldn't find one in a fucking trap.
I'll be completely
I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand in a 15-acre pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be completely honest. I run a 15-acre pen just about daily, and I mean we've had some shoats in there because we've had some shoats in there that we have run for 3 hours before we finally got them stopped. Shoats. I'm not talking about boar hogs. I'm talking about shoats.
Yeah. That
we have run dogs on them for 3 hours before we stopped them. And everybody listening to this say, "Oh, my dog is stopping, blah, blah, blah." Okay. That's fine. If you think that, then that's fine. I don't care. But legitimately very, very, very good dogs that took 3 hours to stop a show.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Carter.
Because the thing is what people don't realize. Say you have a pen environment and those hogs are staying in that pen environment. Guess what they know more than your dog?
Hell yeah.
Every single hiding spot, every spot that they can slip them dogs, every spot and people are going to be like, "Oh, no, there ain't no way in that 15-acre pen they do that." I promise you they will. They'll make you look foolish. They will make you look foolish.
It gets down to the point, Carter. It's not. You gotta say it's not a pen because it's a hog trap.
Yeah. It's a hog trap.
I don't know if we got pens in Georgia.
Yeah.
The first time I ever seen anything like that was in about a 500-acre thing, and I was like, "This is going to be easy." In a way. Yeah. And the guys were like, "Oh no." I was like, "No." I said, because, they were trying to just see what I thought about it. And I was like, "Well, I think it'll be easy to get on a hog." I said, "But I don't know how easy it'd be to stop, to catch him." And,
Right.
And Clay, that's what Clay told me. He was like, this is where we'll take the young dogs. He said, we're not going to take any of the old dogs or any of the good dogs. I was like, well, why? He said, because those hogs are in there every day. They live there. They're run all the time. He said, and there's so many tracks, your dog won't learn how to run trail. He said, and the hogs know every inch of it. And so they're going to run them forever. He said, so what we do is take these young dogs over here to get them some laps in, to learn how to run a hog once they get it jumped. And that's what we done. And I was like, well, this still ain't going to be that hard. Bullshit. I used to laugh.
I think the best thing to do is have, if you have a pin, is to have a pin and then have a little holding pin on the outside and kick one into that pin. And now you only got one track. You know what I'm saying? I
agree. That's to me, I think that's the best setup there. But to
be able to have a diverse set of like woods, like hardwood, swamp bottom, and then some like mountain terrain or bluffs in the same pin. I think that's crucial too, man.
Well, that's what
you just can't be hunting flat down.
We had like a look. They had a hardwood bottom. Then they had a few nice rolling hills, a bunch of pines, cutovers, some sagegrass fields. You know what I mean? It had a couple ponds out there. Then there was one corner that's just real thick. And so that's one reason why we liked it, because it had a little bit of everything. But it would wear a dog out.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's what it boils down to. I've seen it enough. I'll be completely honest. Here's what it boils down to: how fast can those dogs push track?
Yep.
How fast can they stay on that track, and how fast can they run it? And that's the thing, because you get dogs that go too fast and they overrun it. Yep. You get dogs that go too slow. They get figure eighted and all that other stuff. I mean, people don't give enough credit to hogs. Hogs are immensely intelligent, and I think like, you know, if you don't experience other stuff, then you might never know. I mean, it's one of those things. It's you have to you have to get out there and see other stuff. Yeah, your dogs might be phenomenal in one area, but go hunt somewhere else. And here's the thing: leave your ego at home. If your dogs don't perform well, that's all right. I bet the next time they go, that they'll perform better.
Yeah, and that's what it takes: getting those reps in, running those laps. Like I said, we ain't beating the horse either. It's like, you know, we did the same thing this weekend. It really was harder on the dogs to pick it up, but it was good for them. Because it's like,
and guess what? Next time you go there, they're going to do better.
I guarantee you it'll be better. And that was my whole point earlier when I was talking about the whole unity deal and stuff. It's like, we don't just say that when people says, well, man, what we've got to do to get in on a hunt? We're going to hunt Saturday.
Got some guys from Louisiana.
Yeah, like I'm going to be hunting Saturday. That's what you got to do. You got to show your ass up. Now, I can't drive every single weekend, just like you guys can't. And I can't go every day. But most of the time, you know, I'm if I go hunting, I don't mind somebody going. But like you said, you got to have an open mind and leave that ego at home. Because, like, we ain't going to put up with a whole bunch of bullshit. We want to have a good time.
Exactly. And that's the thing. When somebody brings their ego to it, you don't have a good time.
No. I don't like that.
You don't have a good time.
You got to smile.
You don't have a good time.
If you don't.
And that's the thing. That's the same reason that's the same reason we've gone from rougher dogs to looser dogs, is because
to have a good time.
I have a better time when I'm hunting dogs. Like,
I just stressed.
I'm not peaked out all the time, sitting there wondering if they're treed and this, that, and what I got to sprint to get to. Like, I mean, it's just like, man, I have a more enjoyable time when I don't have to worry about that stuff. And now, yeah, a dog might get wrecked during the process. I'm not saying loose dogs is 100% the answer, and I'm not saying the loose dogs are the answer for whoever is listening to
what
this.
Works
but
better.
At the same time, in my world, I have a lot better time when it's just 3 or 4 bay dogs on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had some of the best wisdom this past weekend handed out to me for free. Didn't cost me a damn thing. There was a young man that looked at me and asked him, I was like, well, how do you get to do this, do that, or whatever? He said, smile more and talk less.
That's right.
And that right there was, I'm talking about just shook to the core. Cause it's like, it's the truth. Leave that ego at home. Have a good time and pay attention. If that's what you're there for, then that's what you need to do. So if you come hunt with us, let's do it.
It goes back to, we always talk about like trying to get knowledge from the older generation that doesn't really pass out knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. If you show up, say you show up to run bear dogs with any of the Appalachian or the Appalachian Mountain boys or something like that. If you show up and you got 3 dog leads around your neck and you got your Garmin around your neck and you don't have a single dog in the box and you work your butt off the entire day, guess what them boys are going to do? They're going to tell you what you want to know.
You're probably going to have a dog when you leave.
Exactly. That's the thing. But if you show up and you got 2 dogs that ain't worth
shit
hammer in the head, yeah. then and you're sitting there talking about how good they are, and then you just sit there and say, well, I don't know why they're acting like this. They usually do really good for me, blah, 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 and this and that and the other. Ain't nobody gonna talk to you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you anything that you need to know.
Because you apparently already got it all figured out.
Right. That's the thing. The more I know, the less I know. I promise you that.
There ain't no doubt about that shit. So I got a question for you now, Ryne. Then we're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up.
All right, come on.
If you could interview anybody, this is original.
Okay.
If you could interview anybody, past or present, who would you interview?
I'll do 2. All right. Let's go. Present, because I think it'd be funny, and I think it'd be fun to get him on a hunt. I'll do Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
And just sit there. Imagine getting like Theo and like Rodney and them just rolling off each other and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that would be a hilarious deal going on right there in itself. Pass? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd probably go with Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about in the dog world.
Andy Griffith. He hunted.
He hunted. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
He didn't just fish with a cane pole.
Yeah.
Damn, man. He hunted too.
What about you, Carter?
Yeah, come on, Carter.
What is your answer to that question?
Well, or Don Knotts, because that's apparently one of my relatives too.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he's like a great distant uncle of mine.
Hell, we ate lunch with him up there in the damn cafe in Addison.
Did you?
Yeah. Arley, not Addison, and Arley. Yeah.
A long time ago, huh?
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Funny.
You know, George Lindsay, he's from Jasper. Goober.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't it Goober?
Okay.
Yeah, George Lindsay. Yeah. He's from here. Because they named it George Lindsay Highway out here in front instead. I don't know why they didn't name it Goober Highway. That's so much cooler. All right, Carter, who's yours?
I got no one.
Oh, well, goddamn, Ryne, come on now. You can't take the whole podcast up over here.
Because I think he might have some dogs in his life. Popcorn Sutton.
Yeah, he got that dog in him, son.
Yeah. You gotta think some damn coon or bear dogs that run by his moonshine fields back in the day.
Without a doubt.
Oh, he had some. So, yeah,
I bet you he had damn. I didn't even think about that. I bet you he had some damn hounds.
I bet he did.
Yeah, that would definitely be one to have on there.
That's right. All right, Carter.
From the past, I would probably say Ben Lilly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I knew you were going to say Ben.
I mean, he just kind of fits into what, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. No, I'm just saying that's.
I feel like me and him kind of relate, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Joker just said, I'm tired of these women. I'm just going to go live in the bush for a while. From the present, I would say Ed Vance, or Steve Mathis. And both of them are authors of big cat books. And I'm honestly not sure if Steve Mathis is still alive. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. If not, you can add him to the list with Ben Lilly. But those two guys are the authors of the two big cat books that I've read. And I mean, like, they just, I mean, you think about what they were doing and the capabilities that those guys had with no tracking system. I mean, trucks that weren't exactly reliable. I mean, like, it's amazing to me that they were capable of doing what they did with what they had. And
I agree.
You know, it's just like, I mean, you think about, like, I don't mean to make a false correlation here, but you think about, like, the guys that cut the trails across the Appalachian Mountains. Like, I think that's what those guys were in terms of the dog world.
Yeah, they were trailblazers in the what we know as the hound hunting world.
Right. I mean, they were out there cutting down massive old growth trees with hand saws, but in the dog running application.
Yes.
And I think like, just like, that stuff's like amazing. And the thing I really, really liked about Ed's book, or Ed Vance's book, that guy went into depth about the psychology of dogs. And I think a lot of people miss on the psychology of dogs. I think you can tell if somebody will be a dog man or not by whether or not they can understand the psychology of dogs.
Yes.
If you can't understand the psychology of dogs, I think it's going to be you might have some phenomenal dogs in your time, but I don't think you can be as successful as you want. You can have some phenomenal dogs. I doubt you can make phenomenal dogs.
You can't be consistent with it.
Right. If you don't understand the psychology of dogs. And I've really tried to pay more attention to the psychology of dogs, and it's really hard to explain off a hoof. I mean, I need to sit down and write about it or think about it more, but I mean, just it's so interesting to me, like, when you can look at a dog in the box and say, it doesn't matter if there's a hog within 2 miles of here, today he's going to find it. Yep. 100%, he's going to find it. And you can legitimately, like, if you know your dogs and you know other people's dogs and you know the dogs that you've hunted with, like, you can do that. Like, it's just like, I'll sit there and look at a dog, or especially like Ryne's Stinky Pete dog. I'd be like, man, he's real mad at him today. And
my pessimistic ass is like, nah, man, my dogs ain't gonna find shit, dude.
and I'd be like, dude, no, Stinky Pete's real mad at him today. And you cut him loose, and you're not gonna see him again until he finds a hog. Like, yeah. And you could just kind of look at him and see it in his eyes. It's it's just like you look a dog in the eyes and you know whether or not he's gonna bite you.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to know. If you don't, you don't understand the psychology of dogs.
Right. And that's the thing I think Ed did a really good job of in his book, is that, he talked about those things. And Steve Mathis is the same way. The book's called Brave because of one dog he had. And I mean, he was on the verge of culling the dog as a puppy because he just looked like nothing. And he looked him in the eyes, and sure enough, like, he was like, I can't cull this dog. And I think that's something like with all the technology that we have and all the information that we have now, I think people have lost, they've kind of come out of touch with that type of thing, you know?
Yeah. I agree 100%.
And I don't mean to start a soap opera because it gets me like a little bit emotional when you really think about it. But
when we were when we were in Abbeville, when I was talking about chaos, I went up there and I said he was calm. He backed up right there between my legs, put his hips. I said, "Here it comes right now." Until something changes his mood.
Yes. And I feel
because like if he does that, he's telling me, okay, I'm ready. This is going to happen. Now, if he's up there jumping around, barking and acting a fool and snatching, you might as well just hand him the money and take him back because it's not going to happen. But if he does that, it's there.
But as a handler, you can also manipulate that. And that's one thing. My favorite words from Pat, like as far as he describes it, is whatever you got in you travels directly down that leash. Now, some dogs are definitely more receptive of it than others. And other dogs, like you said, like you could look at Stinky Pete and you could get him fired up even if he wasn't, but it's not the same as if he already had it. But you could also tone him down, and every dog's different in that way.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's not. My point is, it's understanding that.
Yes.
Right.
Because there's so many that don't. Like we're sitting there telling Rodney, like, there's nothing wrong with BB. She's coming in heat. You know, stuff
just
like
give them the benefit of the doubt.
Just trust the dog. Trust the dog. The dog knows what it's doing.
You shouldn't have this extreme expectation.
Exactly. And that's the thing. There's too many people make that. They take and try to turn that into something instead of looking at the psychology of the dog, like Carter's talking about. They turn into the psychology of their self.
Yeah.
That don't have shit to do with what the dog's doing.
Yeah.
Or the dog psychology.
The self will ruin more dogs than the dogs will ruin. I promise you that.
It'll ruin 99 out of 100.
Yes, sir.
If you let it.
I mean, it's just like you hear people going picking up dogs out of the dumpster all the time, and they turn into their best hog dog. You know why? Because they gave them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when you
they didn't expect anything of them.
That's right. And you drive by. Sometimes, like you said, you can look at a dog and look in his face and see like if he's guided or not.
Mm-hmm.
Some dogs look the part, look like Tarzan, play like Jane. But when you deeply look into their eyes and look into their soul, like you can tell that, man, I think he's got it. I think they got it.
Yeah.
And
paying more attention to that stuff. I mean, I've done my dead level best in the last couple of years to pay more attention to that kind of stuff and just be more in tune with that stuff. And, you know, a dog having an off day, like you can see it in a dog's eyes before you ever cut that dog loose that it's going to have an off day. You know, when you let it off of the lead to go load up in the truck, whether or not it's going to have an off day. But yet, like, we're still stuck in the fact that, oh, well, he don't ever do that. He's acting stupid today. And then we beat the dog. And then all of a sudden the dog's like, what's going on? I'm just having an off day. Like I tell people all the time, dogs are just like people. Guess what? I've had plenty of off days.
I agree.
Like, if I'd beat me every time I had an off day, I'd probably be dead.
What do you think about when people say that shit? They're like, well, they ain't never done that before. And you know they're full of shit. That dog done that last week.
Right. And you know.
Who are you kidding?
Yeah, it's just their self. It's their own.
They're lying to themselves, trying to deceive themselves.
It's not necessarily that the dog has never done that before. It's just that the dog he's never done that in front of other people before. And then there's where that ego gets in there, and it starts watering out everything else that the dog
effect, man.
And then you get stirred up and you get fired up at the dog, and rather than just letting the dog chill and saying, hey, you know what? Like, you know what? That dog's she's not going to hunt today, and throwing her in the box and just leaving it at that. You sit there and try and cast her or him or whatever it is, and then you wind up frustrated with the dog, and then you wind up beating the dog, and then you wind up it's just a snowball effect when you just don't say, it's.
But like you said, instead of just throwing that dog in the box, a lot of people keep trying to hunt it, and it keeps doing bad shit. And then all of a sudden, it looks like if you start hunting these people for the first time, like let's say me and you never met, and we went and took the dog hunt and started doing that. Instead of just taking that dog up, putting it in the box, like, man, he ain't hunting good tonight. That is what it is. The people are going to look at your dog and see that dog, and they're probably going to think you got some coals. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's like, I mean, it's all about knowing the psychology of your dogs. It's just like when Champ was 4-legged, if I took him with somebody that had some cast dogs, I'd be like, I'm not even casting him. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he doesn't cast. I was like, now when we ride to the next spot, I was like, he can run in front of the buggy, and he'll probably find a hog on the way there, but he ain't gonna cast. It doesn't matter how many times I beat him with the 2x4. That ain't the dog he is. Yeah. I think people are so reliant on the technology nowadays, and like the Garmin's the best thing that's ever happened for dog hunting. It's the worst thing that's ever happened for dog hunting because people don't pay attention to their dogs anymore. They get one here and they're like, well, he got out there and went hunted. And at the same time, it's like a lot of people, when they got the Garmin, they figured out that their A dog wasn't their A dog and their C dog was their A dog.
Without a doubt.
Hey, also going on a different subject of the Garmin shit, it kind of like is weird to think, man, like you go back years ago, we didn't have no Garmins and everybody, yada, 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 they weren't looking at Garmins. And now you look at everyday in society and you see all these people on their cell phone all the time. I'm one of them. But you sit there texting and calling people and doing all this shit. And then when you go out hunting with your buddies, everybody's staring at a damn Garmin. Like when can we just take the Garmin off and put it somewhere else? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I like about them loose dogs, brother. Once they strike out, I'll put that Garmin down until I think I'll check it every now and then.
But you get what I'm saying though? That's kind of nice. And like I put Honey up when we was hunting in Fargo because he wasn't doing nothing, and I just put my Garmin up. I turned it off, and then I just enjoyed the time, enjoyed being out there. And everybody, you just get caught up looking at your Garmin all the time, just like your damn cell phone. It never stops.
Okay, so the first hunt of 2025, we all get together. Let's plan it. No Garmins.
All right.
I want to go old school and get a damn lantern.
Well, that's what
I'm not
do.
doing that, Ryne. I'm not doing that.
I think we still need a tracking system.
No.
I think we should do the big
I think you put a tracking system on your dog for shit to
God.
get.
Jesus
Christ. Listen, no. But you put it in a box or you put it somewhere and then you just leave it in there until you hear the dog. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was saying use the beep so that way like you
You'll
can't
know they're free.
use a map or nothing like that. You just it's like I can at least estimate my dog's X amount away in this direction.
Yeah.
Joey, here's what I will run the know nothing with you, but I'm bringing my 3-legged dog.
Yeah, and I'm not going to bring a long range loose track dog. I can promise you that. I'm going to bring 2 small dogs with me, and we're going to walk the creek.
That's right, brother.
I better be able to see
I'm down with that.
Moonlight shining in his eyes. I better be able to see his eyes from across the path.
Oh shit, we'll be done by 7:00 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Again, I'm telling you, it'll be quick. And now, if y'all want to get on that, let's strike them and run them. I ain't running nothing. Not if I ain't running if I ain't got no system on it. I can tell you what's happening. It's gonna be bulldogs on the ground. We're gonna catch them quick and fast and in a hurry. They're gonna jump them at 50 yards and catch them at 55.
Yeah. I've ran that no tracking system unwillingly a few times.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times I do that, and it's like I really want this damn thing to work, but it don't work.
Yeah. The one that breaks is the one that's 3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah. On your best dog, that's the one that goes out.
I like how it's pick up to 9 miles. Okay. Where?
Yeah, I ain't seen one pick up 9 miles. I ain't seen one pick up over 2.
Now, like
the 30s and 40s did.
I've seen to say now, I had some 30s and 40s. Like if I had a long range antenna, if I hooked them up, I'd get them 3.5, 4 miles over here. But now that all changed. Like I said, I think the last time we picked up anything like was over 2 miles was when we had Bella. Remember, I picked her up at like 3.39 miles or something like that, or 2.69 or something. It was that son of a bitch right there drove me crazy.
And I think there's something to do with like the more people you hunt with, like we always hunt with groups and shit, and the interference, man. Like every time I go by myself, I usually can get like if I go by myself and take 3 dogs, I can get out to like 1.8 miles or shit like that. But when I get another handheld there, there's so much interference and shit.
What handheld are you running?
I just got the 200i.
Well, they sent me a 300.
My dogs don't go that far.
And the thing I like about it now, Ryan, is as soon as it says interference, I just changed my whole thing on it. I can just change the whole caller ID and put it on a whole separate channel. You go to your channel view and you have, 19 settings with 5
you can do that without. You can do that without communication.
Yeah, you can change your whole channel. Yeah, you don't have to be near the caller or none of that shit. Just change it.
Yeah, because like a 200, I know when it says like interfering communications, like I can do it on my 200i. But
well, you can change the caller ID.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right on the 200, 100.
I can but I can only change the caller ID when it's connected to.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this is changing the whole channel. It's not just the ID number. This is the entire channel. The whole frequency that it's picking up is changing the whole channel.
That's worth it. The way these callers go now.
Exactly. That's that is the absolute best thing that we've had. Is it not? Because we got one.
And if you can't find one open, you can just hit find one that's open, and
it'll find it for you. But generally, like I said, yes, it's just like a scan. That has been, and also like once I put your dog's names in mine, but it does it on 200 too, I think, don't it? Groups them. I can put it with I can put it with y'all's dogs, and then whenever I get close to y'all, just turn them on. And if y'all got the same collars on, it just kicks them on, picks them up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to check that, but all right. So what's let's see, we've been in it about a couple hours now.
Yeah.
So if y'all got anything else y'all want to throw out there, any more questions or get me all stirred up and riled up?
I ain't got nothing. I'll wait till the next one. I'll keep my questions at 2 minimum.
All right. Well,
I'm tired, boss.
All right. Well, I do want to say that I was very, very impressed with the whole deal that happened this weekend with all the people that were there. Had a great time. The best folks that you could be around. I mean, seriously, Cody and Connor, they have some phenomenal dogs. They know what they're doing. All the people that were local to that area, they were nice and welcoming to us. Like I said, and getting to just about put your hands on the bear within 2 feet of it really changed my life in a lot of ways. And I mean, like I hadn't been that excited in a long time. It's what Cody Godwin said. He said, I seen an 18-year-old Joey there. I said, yeah, you did, buddy. And it really did.
And people know that the bear did not get killed, just so you know.
Oh yeah, no. That was just
people know.
That wasn't even that wasn't our dogs. We didn't run that bear. Like there was just another group that was there. They said, hey, y'all want to look at this bear? Like, yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah.
And but it was a really good time. And I mean, and the Texas guys, shit, man, that's Trey and Josh. You can't ask for no better than that.
Hey, y'all got to make a trip out there, man.
I know. That's what Trey was telling me. He said, man, he said, y'all know you got to come out there. I was like, well, I guess next time we'll have to, if we can all make it happen, we'll make it happen,
Did y'all even get them on the podcast?
No, we didn't even get to do one while we were there.
God.
No, they're still getting on it. Don't worry about it. They're getting theirs. They're definitely going to get theirs.
Well,
I wanted to have it to where Jonathan was there too. That that way we could do all of it.
Yeah, Jonathan's the ringleader.
Yeah.
No matter what the other people say, Jonathan's the ringleader.
Oh, I got you. I figured Trey was the boss, really, undercover.
Oh, y'all gonna start some stuff with that, Ryan.
Trey.
No, but I'm just saying. But who's the first person we talked? But who's the first person we talked to was Torres? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it was Torres.
But I mean,
you saying he's the ringleader is good. Josh and Trey gonna get fired up about that. You know.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord. Well, fellas, we appreciate it. Thank y'all for the support. We thank y'all for everything that y'all do to help make this happen.
Yes, indeed.
Sure, we thank y'all, man.
And like I said, we just keep doing these, man. Like every now and then we just check in and kind of go over. It seems like, we get a lot of people that are interested in hearing some hunting stories and they're interested in what goes on with what we do. Some people are not interested in it, and that's fine too. Change it. There's another podcast out there. Y'all check it out.
Or some people are fake interested in it, or just they're listening, but they ain't like it.
Hey, you ain't got to like it, but if you listen, stay on for 6 minutes.
That's right.
I need that.
That's right. So we can't start talking shit about people until after 6 minutes.
That's it. We got to do that. So, all right. Well, boys, we appreciate y'all, and we'll holler at y'all in a few days.
Okay, buddy.
All right, man.
Safe.
We'll see y'all.
We'll see y'all.
All right. I'm gonna hang it up there. All right. Well, that was our amigos once again. We've been doing that once a month for past 3 months, I guess, 3 or 4 months. Just kind of a check up and check in and where you been, what you doing. A lot of times we all get to go together, or I ain't gonna say that it's that easy all the time, but we try to make it happen. Everybody puts in effort, time, and money to make these little get-togethers happen. And if you want to be part of it, you can ask anybody that's been around us. All you got to do is just jump, put your elbow beside ours, and let's ride. It ain't that big a deal. And we like to go hunt, and we like to have people come hunt with us. So y'all keep that in mind. If y'all got any ideas for guests or for topics that y'all want to hear, y'all let us know. Make sure you leave a comment. If you don't listen on YouTube, if you're on the Spotify, make sure you listen all of it, download it, whatever you need to do with it. If you're on the Apple thing, make sure you do all that stuff. We need some more subscribers on YouTube. So get over there, push the subscribe button. You ain't even got to watch all the videos, man. You ain't got to do that. Just subscribe to it. We're going to get 1,000. Then, but all of our account stuff there, it's at a slow and steady pace. Not blowing nothing slap out of the water, but we're steadily climbing. And we appreciate that because of the listeners. And I've got to meet several on these little trips that we do. Like I said, I met old Charlie Watkins this weekend. Hell, he was, like I said, collaring them up at the gas pump, filling up. He's ready to roll. Sent me some videos. So next time I get down that way, I might have to holler at old Charlie and go turn them loose and see if we can't stir something up. So I guess anything else you need to add, Nate?
No, sir.
You're good? All right. Well, thanks once again. We appreciate y'all. And until the next time, we'll see you.
Thank you. Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned for our new episodes every Monday and Wednesday. For questions, advertising, or just to chat, email DixieDoggers01@gmail.com.